Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is a great day to be alive on this Wednesday. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside me, Kyle Wallace and Brad Nortman. It is a Weed Man Wednesday.
Hey, my grass already looking good. I'm looking outside like, ooh, the Weed Man came. Look at that grass.
Brad is still awaiting the text.
I'm hungry for that Weed Man. Come on, Weed Man. I need you out there at the estate.
800. Now you sound desperate like a 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. Liz is more. Alex Strofer on the show. And you, as always, can see our Weed Man Wednesday outfits on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
Kyle loves the Weed Man.
Kyle indeed loves the Weed Man.
Weedman.com for 50% off your first service. That's weedman.com. Let's jump right into it, eh? What do you say? Had a really fun conversation with Mark Tauscher yesterday. Because I think the thesis of the way we have on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman have been talking about this offseason is, I think, with a little bit of impatience, because it is now a 15-plus year drought since they've been to a Super Bowl. There's been plenty of opportunities in which we could look back and say, this is why it missed, this is why it didn't work, this is why it didn't happen. Seattle game, 2020, first number one overall seed in 2021, and you had a bye, you lose to San Francisco. And then, obviously, it was a great year in 2023. No expectations other than to, see what Jordan Love was. And they went on an unbelievable run to beat the Cowboys in the wild card round. And last year, lost to a lot of good teams, played Philadelphia well, but still, again, it wasn't the ultimate outcome. You didn't take that step forward that, again, the opponent was the opponent, but the goal heading into last year for many people was to try and go past what you did in the playoffs, to start sort of, projecting yourself towards another championship. And so I feel as if it's fair, I don't want to speak for all of us, Strofe, definitely not you. I know you have Mr. Irrelevant, have your own opinions. But for Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, I feel like we want to figure out the best way to build a roster that can compete for a championship. Now, how Goody's doing it, you can agree or disagree, is in his mind, the defensive line, he spoke at the NFL owners' meetings, he believes the pieces are there. And it might be the coaching change at the defensive line. The wide receiver position, Goody talked about how the speed is already going to be able to replace Christian Watson. Now, we can talk about Jordan Love and what he needs to do and if he can elevate those wide receivers. But when talking with Tausch, he's a Goot stan. I'm not saying anything that's not false. He is proclaimed he is a Goot stan. He thinks Goot has done a great job of building a competitive roster.
Yeah, he has the blinders on. He's like a horse.
Green and gold glasses.
Wapow, wapow. So that being said, earlier today on Willie and Tausch,
you just said Goody was his jockey riding him? My goodness.
I didn't say that.
Correct.
You said that.
You did call him a horse.
And he said, wapow, wapow.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gestured in that
Go
way.
that far.
Send my message out there, Tausch. Strofe, I heard on our loudspeakers something going on. We had Willie and Tausch playing throughout the offices. I don't know what was said, but Strofe said, don't listen. So here's what Willie and Tausch from 9 to noon across East Wisconsin had to say.
I'll tell you this about Norty. I do my KBN hit on Tuesdays. Those three all think alike now. They all think alike.
No.
No, I'm telling you, I got on with them yesterday, and all they want to do is complain. Oh, there's no urgency. This team, they stink. They're not going to get any better. Oh, da, da, da. And I'm looking at it like I'm saying, Brust, you were a freshman. Were you the same player as a freshman as you were as a senior? You can't. That's apples to oranges. I said, no, it's not. It's so frustrating. Listen, they just want to rail on everything. Oh, this stinks. This stinks. You realize that we weren't that bad a team last year, and they're young, and they could actually get better. They wanted to hang up on me. I wanted to hang up on them, and thankfully we both did. That's where we were at yesterday.
They think he stinks. He's terrible.
Yeah, and all three of them have the same thoughts on it.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
It's so funny because, and this is the part that's yours. I'm not going to. Okay.
Oh, wow. I just think that other.
That Willie and Tausch this morning, 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. Go ahead, Kyle.
that
There's a
Jesse
little
in the
group thing
background
going
there?
on there. I'm not going to disagree.
Who said, oh, is that Jesse Nelson in the
Of
background?
course it's Jesse Whitey Tighty's hall monitor Nelson.
What's funny to me is they're accusing us of groupthink, while meanwhile the entire 1 minute they are themselves are engaging in groupthink.
That's factual.
Oh yeah, you're right. That KBN. Oh, this and that.
This guy
They're-
stinks, that guy stinks.
Yeah.
No examples. It's like
Nope.
no true examples. Just, the generalization. These guys, they're not going to this. No actual example.
And we've never said the Packers stink. Never. That is Tausch manipulating the narrative.
He did it, and that's when I got to the point of like, all right, we're hanging up on you, you're hanging up on us, we hang up on each other at the same time. My thing was that when Goody headed into the free agency period, I wanted to see the urgency that he wanted, and he himself said at the NFL owners meeting, it's the organization, it's all encompassing. And he believed that he moved in free agency urgently. He said it in his quote. So when I look at what the Packers did they get better at the offensive line? Yes. But we're looking at two position groups where we're having the same conversation in heading into 2025 that we had heading into 2024. Someone's going to emerge within the wide receivers and the defensive line. And ultimately, it's hard for me to sit here and trust that based off the amount of times that we've just been like, okay, it's going to happen. Well, what's the evidence as to why it's going to happen?
See, the thing is when people don't have real reasons or rationales and they can't utilize facts and historical context to be able to give you a straight answer, this is what they do. They start throwing out names and insults because on Willie and Tausch, they clearly can't fight back on the fact and the truth that this Green Bay Packer team, they're less excited going into the 2025 season than they are in the 2024 season. There's less optimism for this Green Bay Packer team, and it all falls on the fact that Goody did not get any pieces this offseason that can help the areas that we really needed. Obviously, the offensive line was fine. It was okay, but we have an upgrade. We get that. But the offensive line wasn't the big issue. The biggest issue was the fact that you did not have a number one wide receiver emerge, and we're talking about guys need time. All right, you know what? You want to use freshman to sophomore year? From freshman year to junior year, Ben Brust became a little star on our for Wisconsin basketball program. But you know who ain't
I
a
did
star?
lead the team in points that year, my junior year.
You know
Ben
who
Brust.
didn't become a star? Romeo Dobbs hasn't become a star. Christian Watson still hasn't become a star, and he still has injury issues. Yes, he played most of last season, but guess what? It still ended in injury issues. Tay Wicks did not take the next step because he had an issue catching the football.
You're
So
just
you
on
can
wide receivers
I'm
right
just
now.
talking about wide receivers. I'm not even talking about the super seniors on the damn defensive line.
super
the problem
seniors.
that I have is that they want to act like there isn't issues and isn't problems, but there are glaring holes on this team that have not been addressed. So we are not being haters toward Goody. This isn't groupthink. This is us applying what our eyes and our brain is telling us is that this football team did not take the necessary steps to get to the point where they're going to truly compete for championships this season.
And for those who say the draft is still coming, I get that. But how many times do you have evidence that a first-round pick who usually has the best opportunity to make a year-one impact, how many times has that happened over the last 4 years? I'm waiting.
Exactly.
Quay Walker, there was issues. He wasn't able to make the plays. Devontae Wyatt, we were like, in spurts, flashes. You can then fast forward to Lucas Van Ness, who was the 13th overall pick. That's a spot where you need production. Then you move to Jordan Morgan, who's going to be competing for the left tackle position. He had injuries, but he's still going to be competing for the left tackle position against the 7th round pick, who is serviceable, but you need your first round picks to make that impact. Has Goody done well the last couple drafts, finding guys to plug and play and making this team better? Yes. But we're looking at this as expectations to make a championship roster based on what's happening all around you in the NFC. Not to mention, on Willie and Tausch, the conversation that started the majority of Packers fans' optimism heading into free agency was our very own Rob Domofsky of ESPN.com joining Willie and Tausch, talking about how it sounds like through agents that the Packers are going to be very aggressive, and he cited the position groups that we're talking about. Cornerback, wide receiver, and defensive line. They did sign Nate Hobbs, and we'll get to Jair Alexander. But the other two weren't addressed in free agency. And we're coming to the conclusion that there are going to be pieces added to the draft, but I'm not going to sit here and expect those pieces to be able to make that impact
And it's not your
based
fault.
off of the evidence of the past.
It's nobody's fault that we're thinking this way but Goody. It is on Goody that he has not been able to find guys in the first round that can be as impactful for this football team year one. We have too many guys that we keep talking about the college thing here, redshirting year one. Too many guys that we're waiting for year two and year three to make those jumps. I need a guy for the Green Bay Packers to get in the first round this year that is going to contribute to this roster. I need more of a guy who they got in the second round, Edrin Cooper. I need the Edrin Cooper impact. I need the Evan Williams impact, but I need it from a first round pick because those guys are good. But when you get a guy in the first round and you hit on them, that potential is always through the roof.
Well, and Jason came on our program, KBN, and said that on average, I believe it's 1.6 guys per draft class. You're talking about 6 to 10 dudes. 1.6 earn a second contract. So by that reasoning, we absolutely are in the right to start judging and evaluating these guys that are going into their fourth year, like Romeo Dobbs. He's going into his fourth and final year of the contract. Even Wicks and Reed, and that doesn't even go along with all the guys on the defensive line. They are well into their rookie contracts. If they haven't made the jump now, what makes you believe that they're going to when their NFL life is shrinking? Even Goody says that. Your life in the NFL is short as can be. Some of these guys are already halfway through their career. Think about that, halfway through their career, and they're not making the jump. So what makes us believe that we can go ahead and doing that? And to comment on, us complaining, this and that.
A little bit.
I think a little
bit, yeah.
But I will say, Ben, particularly you, and even Kyle and Strofe, the coaches that were hardest on you, those are the ones that believed in you most, that wanted more out of you.
Correct.
It's the coaches that are easy on you, let things slide, let things go under the rug. Those are the ones
Trust
where it's
this
like,
process.
yeah, it's just, you know what? I'm not going to press you. It's you just do you. It's the coaches.
If this was
in
a
my life.
veteran-laden team, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's a young team. And when you have a young team in the NFL that you're looking to try and continue to build on, you have to be hard on these guys. You have to look at it as like, all right, after this season, are we going to have more answers than questions?
Yeah, and to wrap up my thought of it, we are just using their words. I mean, Goody said he wants to compete for a championship. He has a sense of urgency. So we are following that same formula to evaluate this team. If he just said, look, we are doing what we are seeking to do. We want to contend every year. We want to be in the mix. We want to stay young. We know championships will come here and there. That's not the words he's using. He says we're
ready to win championships now.
We're ready to win championships, and we should have a sense of urgency. So us as KBN, we are in lockstep with you, Goody. How do we go ahead and do that?
We judge the actions by which he goes about building the roster. And not to mention, we are also utilizing the words of said Wilde and Tausch. Wilde talking about draft picks. Tausch talking about, I remember asking him, I was like, when or do you know, like, if you got it figured out? Year 2, year 3. We're talking about super seniors on the defensive line, as Kyle mentioned. We're talking about these Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watsons. And again, I'll wait on Jaden Reed. I get that. He's 2 800-yard seasons. Can he put the consistency together year 3? It's going to be harder when you don't have Christian Watson and you bring him a Cole Hardman. You're like, he's going to replace Christian Watson. That don't damn work like that. We know that.
Yeah, no, I'm just disappointed in Wilde and Tausch on being able to be sold
The
dreams.
D word.
No, I am. I'm disappointed that they buy into the what if scenarios. They buy into all these hypotheticals. But if they come on now, y'all better than that. Tausch, you played in the NFL, and I told him yesterday, it didn't take him 3 seasons, 4 seasons to get it going. Tausch came in, and he became a bookend tackle just like that. Wilde, he came in, he was covering Super Bowls pretty quickly after he graduated. It didn't take him years to develop.
Brian Balaga on there?
Yeah,
he came in
started right away.
No problems.
And so why are we not? We should be holding them to a higher standard. Y'all just mad because we have a higher standard than you all do. If they're okay with competing, then fine. But I want to win championships.
Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Stroh.
Kyle, didn't you work here for 11 years before you got in the daily lineup?
No.
Yeah, but he wasn't a projected first-round pick.
Wait,
or a contributor
Well,
right
he
away
just
to
said
Good
Kyle was
Summer
a
Brands.
drafted free agent.
He was like a
Super Bowls out of college. So
Kyle was like a undrafted free agent that was on the practice squad for 7 years. And they're going to make a movie out of him.
To be honest, I was no. I was.
He's like Vince Papali.
No, I was a first-round draft pick that decided to go play baseball instead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got drafted.
And you came back, you circled back after some time, time in the minors?
Yeah, after time in the minors. I'm a miracle story. What can I say? I'm Ben Brust. I'm a miracle story.
A walking miracle? Mm-hmm. All right, so how do we measure success? I want to know from KBN Nation how you're measuring success next year. If you're not in the KBN lockstep of trying to figure out how to build a championship roster, how are you looking at success next year? Is it getting past the wild card and continuing to build into 2026?
That's Woody and Tausch. That's theirs. I can give you their answer.
They gave us our answer in their 1 minute
playoffs. They're making the playoffs.
Young guys are going to grow.
Yeah, no, that's
we've been talking about this. If you guys want to have the same conversation on Woody and Tausch and just go through the motions and do that, go ahead. But I'm, as Brad said, holding to a higher standard based off the audio and sound we've heard from Goody this entire offseason. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. 800-990-3776. All right, everyone, Strofe, Brad, Kyle, myself, KBN Nation, everyone needs an answer. How are you measuring success for the Green Bay Packers next year? I know there's a draft still, but it still shouldn't impact what you are expecting from the franchise next year. 800-990-3776. Your expectations for the 2025 Green Bay Packers next.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like, he's just, I am Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Did you know that Wisconsin has a new, quick, and free online tax filing tool called IRS Direct File? Direct File is changing how people file their taxes and bringing more money into our state through the federal Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. File your federal and state taxes online directly with the IRS from your smartphone or computer. On average, file in less than 1 hour. Available in English and Spanish. Visit directfile.irs.gov to see if you're eligible. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. It's Weed Man Wednesday. Weed Man for the win.
Singing Kumbaya with KBN Nation right now. We want to find a way to make sure the Green Bay Packers are selling us real goods, not fake goods. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. Yes, Kyle?
I'm going to say these is fake. It's in Mitchell and Ness jerseys my uncle used to bring back from Vietnam back in the day.
I have no idea what you just said.
Mitchell and Ness? Y'all don't know about Mitchell and Ness?
Yeah, the brand?
Yeah. Yeah. So back in the day, my uncle, he had somebody who was in the military, used to get jerseys from Vietnam, not always real branded stuff. So, like fake Louis Vuitton and all that stuff. I said that's how fake it is.
Okay, that's Kyle's opinion on Goody and the Green Bay Packers.
You are a weird person.
I have some weird,
there's
weird
people who heard
movie
that
deep references, and
Remember we used to wear jerseys back when we were kids?
Of course.
Yeah, like actual
How
jerseys.
you still wear jerseys?
I don't. I wish I did. I wish it was still popular because I have a lot of them.
All right, so on YouTube, at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, Jalen chimes in, Love better be a top 5 QB, wide receivers better make a jump, LaFleur better be a coach that isn't weak with plays. If Love is the same or worse, it is a failure and Goody would need to go. Now, different perspective. The Packers have never been a championship or bust franchise. It's all about being competitive. The goal has always been making the playoffs, no different than the Cowboys. But the difference here is Goody talked about how it is time to win championships. The general manager laid out what he believes is possible for this team. So I want to know what your expectations are, not what the Packers have done as a franchise, but based off what Goody has said, what are your expectations?
Well, it even kind of blows my mind because, Ben, you said, which is true, 15 years since this team has even been to a Super Bowl. So there's walking around like a 20-year-old Packer fan that doesn't quite remember that Super Bowl. They're maybe 4 or 5 years old, and they're 20 years old, and they've never experienced it, at least can pull it out of memory. By the time I was 20 years old, I had a Brett Favre Super Bowl and an Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl as a Packer fan. And the fact that the drought has gotten so bad that in that amount of time, there's like a 20-year-old walking around that hasn't experienced that. That seems to me like something needs to change to start to actually get back to being the title town team that the Green Bay Packers want to be. So
Damn, you just aged all of us right there. You put myself where I was when the Packers won the Super Bowl in 2010.
Absolutely.
And there's people right now that are in college that may have faint memories of that, but no real memories.
That's right. I mean, it's a long way away right now. So when I think about this team, I think about the Packers in general. I mean, making the playoffs, not winning the NFC North, wild card team, not hosting a playoff game at Lambeau, it's not good enough anymore. I mean, I appreciate it. And look, let me be honest. I've got friends in Jacksonville and Carolina. Now they just
Brad, you played for both teams.
Yes, and so I've got a lot of connections there. So played for the Panthers and the Jags. And I talked to them, and they're like, look, we just want our falls to be fun. We just want to be relevant. We want hope. Yeah. Making the playoffs would be amazing. And that is a reasonable expectation for any fan group. So if the Packer fans view it that way, then they're living a good life because there are teams that would strive for that. But I gather that Packer fans, that's not good enough, right? Just to have eventful falls and hope on Sundays throughout the season and make the playoffs and shucks, maybe this will be the year. I gather it's championships and Super Bowls that they want. So for me, for this team upcoming here, man, it's got to be NFC Championship game. Get to the NFC Championship. At least that way, you are knocking on the door of a Super Bowl, and in Jordan Love's time, I mean, you got to get one. You got to get one.
Couple of responses here that are worthy of the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776. I think this is interesting from Jack here. Success for Green Bay in 2025 should be or could be an NFC Championship appearance, a record above 500 against playoff teams. And I like this. A drafted player appointed to being All-Pro. And I'm not even going to say a 2025 drafted player because you can give Goody credit. Credit, again, this is what will be missed in the conversation. He gets credit for Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs. But part of the Packer strategy is very much based off of draft and develop. It just is. Everyone knows that. So part of that is hitting on your draft picks and developing them. So say an Edgerrin Cooper who goes from two-time defensive NFC Player of the Week to a consistent player that you can be in that all-pro conversation. Over here, we also have on YouTube at least the divisional round, but they need to make the NFC title game or it's a failure. So there's an at least there. There's a range, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what the expectations are for the Packers after what Goody said and what the actions have been. 800-990-3776.
And I want to be very clear with everybody. If we thought the Green Bay Packers were a bad football team, we would not bestow them with these high expectations. Because when we know going into that 2023 season, we didn't have high expectations because we had a young roster, we had a brand new quarterback, we didn't know what we were going to get. But once you show me your potential, once you show me how good you are and how great you can be, that's when I start assigning high expectations on a football team. So when I look at this Green Bay Packers organization, it's not my fault that I feel this way, that I want to win championships. There isn't another place walking around talking about Title Town. When all you hear about Title Town, you hear about Lambeau Field,
Lombardi
the
Trophy coming home.
Vince Lombardi Trophy coming home, as you said, Brad, as well. When you talk about one of the greatest franchises ever, all the winning that they do, a model of success, historic quarterback play from Bart Starr to Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and oh my gosh, they did it again with Jordan Love. If that is what the conversation is about, then we need to have high standards and high expectations for this football team. So when I look at the 2025 season, I expect the Green Bay Packers to either win the NFC North to reestablish that they are on top, because before it didn't matter to me like that, but now it matters because you have been dethroned, and the fact that you went 1-5. If 1-5 in the division last year, you got something to prove, because you did not do very well against any of those teams, including the Chicago Bears, because we're a fingertip away from being 0-6 in the division this year, right? We won a lot of football games, but we got to be better in the NFC North, which will lead to us having a better overall record, which also, if we win the NFC North, I feel good about our playoff seeding. But then on top of that, the Packers have made the playoffs already. Check. They've done that. The Green Bay Packers have won a playoff game. Check. They've done that. Now the next step for my Green Bay Packers is you got to get to the NFC Championship. You have to do it. And don't tell me that it's hard to do, because we watched a rookie quarterback take a pretty, above average Washington Commander football team that got better during the season, but we saw
where the expectations were not for them to make the playoffs.
And they had a mixture of young and old people on that roster, and they made it to an NFC Championship game. So that is absolutely possible. So I understand saying NFC Championship, that's not easy, but it shouldn't be easy for the Packers, because if they make it to the NFC Championship, then they're right back on track. That gives them an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, and more importantly, it puts in their head, boys, we're getting closer. We're taking steps in the right direction.
Well, and this is a compliment for the Packers, right? Because they are a marquee franchise, right?
They're a brand.
Anywhere you go in the U.S., there are Packers. Internationally now, there are Packer fans. They're in the same conversation with the Yankees, the Lakers, Duke, UNC basketball, all these big brands where they look at it and they say, we expect greatness. We don't just expect to be in the mix and be competitive. That is a standard that is high. That's a compliment to the Green Bay Packers, and it's enjoyable for the fans. However, you can't, by my judgment, right? Since 1995, right, when Favre really took over, really started hammering home, and the good times of Green Bay returns, 1995. Teams that have had a better stretch over that time to now, over the last 30 years. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, New England Patriots. I don't think that that's really arguable based on Super Bowl championships, appearances, MVPs, all that kind of stuff. But mostly Super Bowls that we're talking about. And then teams in the same realm as the Packers since that time. Seattle Seahawks, Denver Broncos, LA Rams, Pittsburgh. I'm going to throw the Ravens and San Francisco out of there. Those are a handful of teams that have been to 3 Super Bowls and won 1 or 2. That's what the Packers have done over that time too. It's just not good enough for a brand that is the same as the Yankees, the Lakers, Duke. It's an amazing conversation and group to be a part of, but with that comes a lot of expectations.
And the Green Bay Packers have not lived up to that.
Yeah, 800-990-3776. Nick chimes in. Used to be common knowledge that the biggest jump is year 2 to year 3, but in this microwave society of instant gratification, it's just we're talking about guys that are not year 2 to year 3. There's plenty of guys on the roster that have been year 2 to year 3 that are no longer on this team that Goody drafted from when he started drafting back in 2017, I believe. That was the Jair year. You get my point.
Might be right.
Jalen chimes in, and also, I like this from Love and Football. Green Bay should be expected to be what the Eagles have been the past 20 years. Several NFC title appearances, multiple Super Bowls, even one is a loss. Always in the thick of it. He says, now we become the Steelers of the last 10 years. So the Packers, the Steelers of the last 10 years?
A lot of history that goes with them. A competitive football team, but
making the playoffs, but just never quite getting there.
But never getting there, right? And Mike Tomlin, listen, he's a great football coach. They're a good football team. You know they're going to be tough. They're going to be gritty. They're going to be there each and every year. But not getting over the hump is something that frustrates that fan base just like it frustrates us.
And ironically, Aaron Rodgers looks like he's going to be walking right into that franchise. Unbelievably. Aaron Rodgers just can't get enough of it.
It is a Weed Man Wednesday here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, and I am getting excited because it is April now, and it's time to start thinking about what's going to be going on locally, all the buzz and the excitement around Green Bay. And if you're a football fan, Verizon is giving you a chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners are going to win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. We're going to be taking care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance at the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to those select Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules, that's ESPN-WisconsinContest.com. What are your expectations? Want to know them from you. 800-990-3776. Whole lot more to get to on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all I'm saying
Come on, guys! His name is Coach Bud!
If he replicates
Coach Booty!
what Coach Bud
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate charity concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 9 to 12 ounce, 10 count, or 32 ounce selected varieties Starbucks coffee, $8.99. 14 ounce or 6 count selected varieties Häagen-Dazs ice cream, $3.99. 4 to 4.5 ounce selected varieties Sargento Balance Breaks, 2 for $6. 64 ounce selected varieties Sunny Delight, 2 for $3.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
It's a Weed Man Wednesday on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. Weed Man for the win.
Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Bill Johnson chimes in. Billy boy.
Bill Johnson.
Paraphrasing Animal House, Mark Tauscher is right. Demented and sad, but absolutely right.
Wait a minute, Bill. What are you talking about? He's right.
What's he right about?
It was a very, very long message, so he gives me the license to paraphrase. I don't know if you want to do that, Bill. I'm not good at paraphrasing.
Reading comprehension.
Yeah, Bill, what do you
I said
mean?
just call, Bill. Just call.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
I'm disappointed in old Bill Johnson because I look up to Bill. And knowing that Bill has such
so now you're disappointed in Willie and Tausch and Bill Johnson? It's a big day of disappointment for you.
All the legends are disappointing me. It's a sad day for me that Bill Johnson, somebody who has seen multiple championships of the Green Bay Packers, who have seen the Green Bay Packers transform from a garbage organization to a good one, would sit here and settle for 15-plus years of not winning a title. I'm disappointed, Bill.
You know, it's interesting because there's only two ways I think you can sit back and have the Wilde and Tausch mentality of being satisfied. One is that you actually, I'd go as far as saying have a little bit of maybe blind faith is a little too strong, but blind faith that's all going to work out, right? Like, okay, they're going to take the steps forward. I believe in Goody, and it just all is going to come together when it needs to come together. Or you're satisfied. You're content with the results over the last 15 years. You're going to be a contender. You're going to make the playoffs. Might win a couple games, but you're not getting the Super Bowl. Those are the only two that I could rationalize.
On KBN ESPN, pre-NFL draft poll. Pre-NFL draft, because I'd be curious if this changes after the NFL draft. Prior to the 2025 NFL draft in Green Bay, what are your expectations for this team? Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, divisional, or wild card? I'd love to know of those four playoff options, what people are looking towards.
Like what will satisfy them for 2025
What are your
season?
expectations?
Yeah, and I agree with those options. Not making the playoffs cannot
It's not
be
an
satisfying.
option.
Yeah, you don't make the playoffs. This is
they have the second best odds to win the NFC North. Still, despite us looking at them as a reason to be looking towards a higher level. And it was interesting, even with Homer and John Anderson yesterday on a Tuesday. John Anderson of ESPN. You know, he's like, I'm fine with it. He's like, I'm fine. Of course you're fine with it. I'm fine with it too. Do you want to be fine with it? Or do you want to be happy with it?
See, that's where I'm so lost, right? Because when people say things, you start looking in the mirror and say, am I the crazy one? Am I crazy
Maybe
for...
I'm the problem.
Yeah, am I crazy for wanting a team to win a championship? Like, is that not what we watch for? Is this not what we cheer? Do we just cheer for teams to win games and have fun? Don't we cheer
Mark Antanasio is looking for Brewers fans to do that.
Yeah, and he got destroyed by fans for that. They say sell the team, even though I love him. I'm a big fan of Mark. But
what a wild drop it. Are you looking for a job at the Brewers?
Yeah.
Overall,
Mark, I love Mark Antanasio.
The Brewers.
I don't. Kyle does.
The Brewers organization. When Brad talked about what Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers were, who he played for in the NFL, that's what the Milwaukee Brewers were. So when he came and our team actually became relevant and made the playoffs for the first time in like 18 years, I was very happy with that. But overall for this Green Bay Packers, they ain't the Brewers. They ain't the Bucks. They have Bucks. They have higher expectations. So hearing people just say, oh, well, it's hard to win championships. Cool, it's hard to win championships. But at what point are we going to say, let's win a dang championship? At what point are we going to say, let's start building a roster that we can be more than just competitive, that we can be a contender? He did it last offseason. He grabbed 2 guys that helped make this team better. Now, what can you do this year? How can you find more guys?
Well, Aaron Banks can help this team be better.
But you need pass rush. It doesn't solve any problems that you have.
And I think nobody here is asking them to be the New England Patriots, right, of the last 20 years, the Kansas City Chiefs. We're just looking for even knocking on the door of a Super Bowl. Because even look at the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, they've been to Super Bowls. They haven't won it, but you can't fault them for not going for it and not being relevant and right there to finally win a championship. So a 15-year drought, right? 14 years between Favre and Rodgers. Now 15 years from Rodgers to where Love is at now. I think that's incredibly reasonable. You're talking about once every 15 years. Well, there's only 32 teams.
Where you're consistently in the mix. And if you're okay with that, that is okay. But based off Goody saying it's time to have the urgency to win a championship gets us to where we are today.
And what makes this even worse, if we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they are.
This is why William Tausch called us complainers.
No, because they're a great. Sure, I'll be a complainer. I'm just pointing out facts. The Kansas City Chiefs are a great organization. But what happened last year? They struggled with drops. And what did they do? They drafted a guy in the first round. They also went out and got DeAndre Hopkins, who, again, he's probably over the hill, but they actually wanted to add pieces that they believe could actually help them make sure that they still stayed at the top. And so that's why when I look at this, it's like good teams do everything they can to stay great. And that's something I feel like the Green Bay Packers don't always do. They're just satisfied with saying we're going to make the playoffs. I look at the Commanders, and what did they do? They say, you know what? This is our window of opportunity. Debo Samuel, come here. We'll take you. Yeah, we're going to figure out what you got. I don't know if Debo still got something left in the tank, but at least they're trying to maximize their window of opportunity. And that is what should be upsetting Packers fans, is that we don't feel like they're actually trying to maximize the window of opportunity. They're just trying to say, hey, let's see what we can do. Let's take shots during this window. But let's not go out there and go for it all. I want the Packers to go for it all.
Well, you know what the risk is, too? The risk is you look back, like we could fast forward 20 years, and the Packers might be, not whatever the opposite of knock on wood is. They might be the Bears. They might be the good years for the Packers might not always be here, right? And
it's fair to say, because there were years where the Packers weren't very good. And there are plenty of people that are listening that remember those days, and they remind us when they call in because I remember
70s and 80s where they were bad. So there will come a day in our lifetime where the Packers are not good. They're not going to be good for a decade. The worst thing is you could look back and be like, man, we went from Favre to Rodgers to Love, and we only did blank, right? Those were the golden years of the modern Packers, and they just didn't do enough. You could say the same thing with the Brewers. Brewers are a little bit different because of cap challenges and stuff. But at least for the Milwaukee Bucks, at least they're looking back at the Giannis time, you could say they should have gotten more, but at least they got a championship. So the biggest risk is looking back and being like, you know what? We had it. We were right there, and we just never got over the hump. That might be more frustrating than even just being in those bad years.
Yes, Chris on the Carpus Talking text line. Old T Mark Tauscher was, quote, lighting y'all up today in his mind.
He was crying. That's what he was doing. We're in his mind.
We were under his skin. It was clear.
And the thing
called us having groupthink. Well, they were having groupthink.
They were.
I think it's fair to say most shows have groupthink.
And you know what? I'll give you all a little bit behind.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
When Mark Tauscher came on and started doing all that propaganda mess for the Green Bay Packers, we all looked at each other and said, we about to eat his ass alive. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And look at him, still crying today about it.
Yeah, he's still ruminating on it 24 hours later. How about that?
KBN Nation, it is a Weed Man Wednesday. And I think that you should start thinking about having that weed-free yard that when somebody walks by, they're going to be like, oh, damn, how did they do that? Well, they did it with Weed Man. You can have that lush green, weed-free yard, making those neighbors stop and stare, and that's where the Weedman Lawn Care comes in. They use golf course quality fertilizer and effective weed control, and it is kid and pet friendly. That is huge. Having a 14-month-old, having 2 dogs. I asked so many times before I was like, yes. I was like, is this safe? And they took me through the process of how everything works. It's like, oh, so you're using golf course quality fertilizer and effective weed control, and it's kid and pet friendly? Sign me up. Get your free quote by going to weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. Kyle and I got ours. Brad, they're stocking up the Weedman formula to go to the Nortman estate. Weedman for the win. Weedman.com to get 50% off. Get a quote. Weedman.com. About to embark on a 6-hour car ride from 7 p to 1 a.m., all to be the hero of my fiance's brother's wedding weekend.
The hero.
Well, you heard me. I'll tell you how next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I will give him that.
Either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Well, that's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah, you were very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you. Growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you. Buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you. Building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Junior achievement is where dreams take flight. We are helping students connect what they learn in school to future work and career success. We are teaching them how to manage money to achieve financial security as adults. And we are showing them that starting a business also means changing lives and communities. However, we can't do it alone. Find out how you can help.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I can call you Daddy, and Daddy, when you call me, you can call me out.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. Now, if you do have advice, I'll take it, because I remember asking for advice with like a 3 to 6 month old doing a long drive of 5.5, 6 hours. But this one was a decision made that I think is the right decision, but I'm going to have to bear the brunt of it. Driving from 7 p to 1 a.m. because it's more likely that the daughter sleeps than having to wake up on Thursday morning driving and then having to entertain her till nap time at noon. That being said, we're going to end up getting there. Side note is, if you have any advice for traveling with a 14-month-old, 800-99... What are you writing down? You ain't got no kids.
I know, I'm taking notes here.
You're a long way away, Kyle.
No.
Whoa.
I mean, from a 14 months, you're at least, what, 23
Doesn't mean you can't be proactive on your note-taking. Brad, you plan like 18 years ahead.
That's fair.
I wasn't planning. I was trying to understand why and correct me if I'm wrong, I was a 14-month-year-old one time in my life.
14-month-year-old, huh?
You're funny.
Thanks, guys.
Dynamite dropping.
Yeah. Why can't she just be in the car seat and somebody in the back seat with her when you drive? Why is you got to schedule around her? You can't leave until noon because of her?
He said you have to schedule around her.
Kyle, you got a lot to learn.
Put her in the seat. If you get fidgety, just stop with all that fidgeting, girl.
They can't
play with her.
Child Protective Services, Kyle Wallace is yelling at his daughter. In
You
the
just
backseat.
play with them. Keep them occupied. Put them
Bro,
little
Kyle,
Teletubbies in their face.
attention spans of infants or even like toddlers are this big, tiny little attention
Give
spans.
her the phone, Ben.
And they're confined into a car seat for how
They're
long?
locked
6.5
6 hours. Could you imagine being locked?
They're going to flail. They're going to throw tantrums.
You want me
They're
to give her?
gonna freak
You
out.
want me to give her a pep talk? And listen, baby girl, you better tighten up. We got 6.5 hours.
She doesn't understand
So,
you.
Kyle, specifically, you start driving. What is your strategy?
For me,
you've been tasked to drive a 14-month-old 6 hours.
I mean,
what are you going to do?
I think he has a great strategy, actually. I think he has a perfect strategy.
I think it's brilliant.
I just didn't like the fact that he said, oh, we couldn't leave till 12. The hell with that. When we get in, everybody get in the car. If she want to be fidgety and crying herself, well, you going to cry yourself to sleep. All right? We going. See,
he said, I can't wait for him to be a parent.
I know. I can't wait for KBN when Kyle is a parent, and we can dive into all the idiosyncrasies.
My child is going to be years younger than yours. Is going to be bullying both of y'all kids. That's what they're going to be.
They're going to be bullying him?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm going to go little pipsqueak Kyle Wallace is running around.
Hey, Brad. Let's go, Brad. Don't let him talk about our kids like that.
You know that baby girl's father is 6'2", 6'3". So that means little ain't going to be no pipsqueak like they daddy. Going to be having some height.
Cody, you're on the Carbless Talking text line. You seem to have advice.
I had to do about an 8-hour drive with my daughter when she was 14 months old. So my advice would be get something that latches onto your seat and can hold a phone or tablet to maybe watch some TV to give who's ever babying in the back a break, and as many different kinds of snacks as you can so that you never have to stop.
TV, entertain, Teletubbies.
Go ahead, Brad.
Are you utilizing screen time?
Trying
It's a tricky.
It's a slippery slope.
It's super slippery.
It's a slippery slope because as soon as you start giving the screen, all they want is a screen.
Just an insatiable screen time then at that point. That's why it's hard, Kyle. You want to try to do it,
No, Kyle's got all the answers.
Yeah, that's
remember
right.
that? Kyle's got all
Hey, quiet down.
I don't have kids, but the gentleman just called and then said the exact same thing as me. You give them snacks, you give them TV, you get somebody back there to entertain them. That's a fun time. It's playtime.
I can't wait until Kyle has a kid and they're
not doing everything I'm saying.
Yeah, they're crying and there's no logical reason why they're crying.
You know what I do to kids?
They're not hungry, they're not tired, they're just crying and you can't stop them.
Your kids are young now, but once kids turn 2 or 3 and they start doing that whine and stuff, you know what I do?
Don't say it if it's bad.
They go wah wah, go wah wah.
You're gonna wah them back?
Yeah, you wah them back, and they look at you.
Is that like barking back at your dog?
No, I'm telling you.
Is that your approach?
Try it with kids. I promise you. When your daughter gets to 2,
just anytime you give advice, just say, "I'm not a parent, but this is how I would do it."
You can wah back.
The greatest shaping of a child occurs between 0 and 5. So when their primary caregiver, the father they look up to,
is whang at them,
at them,
2-year-old,
what kind of scars do you think that's going to do?
A 2-year-old and 3-year-old can talk. And most of the times where they start crying
but
at 2, it's
their
because
brain isn't formed.
No, it's because
sounds like you two would build a lovely relationship.
You
Their
two are
brain's
soft.
not fully formed, Kyle.
No, a 2 and a 3-year-old know they're crying for no reason. So once you start making all that noise, they look at you and say, wait.
Have you done this before?
Hell yeah, it works every time. Every time.
When have you done this?
I have a lot of little cousins. I have a little cousin who
It works every time.
How's
your relationship with them?
They love me. Kids love Kyle. And I'm telling you this right now.
Kyle loves the kids.
Kyle loves the kids. The kid loves Kyle.
2 to 5. Even if they're older than that, they cry. You can say, okay, you want to play this game? But 2 to 5, I promise you, all they do is when they start crying, if you wham right there
is
with
anyone
them,
more qualified than this goon?
they stop. They
yes.
stop crying and they look at you and they say, "Why are you making that noise?" That's what they do, and it works every time, every single time.
I did not have that as today of being the solution. That's
Don't let your kids run
KBN
me
Sports Desk right now. Live looking to the Brewers Radio Network and 620 WTMJ. No, I did it for you, Strofe. Bases loaded, no outs.
Oh.
Bottom of the 10th, 2-2.
That's okay. That's okay.
Live looking.
I heard that crack. I was like, oh,
the
baby.
crack was so good, and it was your boy Salvatore.
No, we got it. We got it. A pop fly's gonna win this game. Or
Yeah, all it takes is a sack fly here with 1 out, bases
we ain't
loaded.
worried about it, baby. Look at that. The pitching is back.
But Freddie had a good
You
day.
win today. You're well on your way. Let's
2
go.
and 4.
Freddie had a really good day.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted that for you so bad, Strofe, because did you have any idea Sal was up with the bases? Oh, of course you did.
Are you
I've
watching?
been listening to it back here. Yeah.
What do you mean you've been listening to? Aren't you supposed to be listening to our show?
Golly, damn,
I got
G.
one year
Williker.
I've been part of the conversation the entire segment.
You know what?
Barely.
You know what? I'm gonna give Strofe some credit
That's
here because
impressive, actually.
he has had some dynamite one-liners here to roast Kyle.
Yeah, because that's what he feels he needs to do. Drop in, drop out. He doesn't have enough.
Terry chimes in. He honestly feels bad for Kyle's future kids.
Oh, come on,
I
Terry,
still
stop
think
it.
it's fascinating. Like when my dog barks so much to the point where she just won't shut up. Sometimes I go, "Rrr, rrr, rrr,"
And she look at you like you crazy.
just
like,
to throw her off for a second.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't do
What
that.
does-
to
what does
children.
Patricia do?
Yes, you
But
can.
Patricia just continues to bark then because now she thinks I'm a big dog.
Just like the kids gonna think you're a big baby.
The kid's gonna learn today. I'm telling y'all that. I'm telling you, it's a genius
can't
thing I
wait.
discovered.
You said I'm telling you about 20 times. We know that you're telling you. We just know that you're wrong.
Have you ran this by baby girl? Your parenting techniques?
Listen, it is what it is. She'll be okay.
Man
She'll
of
be
the
fine.
house.
Yeah.
I'll run that mug.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the piece from the child crying. I'll get yelled at by baby girl versus a child screaming at the top of their lungs for no reason.
800-990-3776. If anyone's more qualified for advice for a 6-hour drive with a 14-month-old kid, I would gladly take those advice from people that know what they're doing instead of Kyle, who's going to cry and wah back at his future kids.
If your daughter cries during a trip and she won't stop crying, just try it.
I will do what I think is best, not thinking
Be
about
careful
you at
not
all.
to scar her, Ben.
Cody says Kyle's going to traumatize his kids. People are worried. Over to the Brewers Radio Network. Got away with one, Strofe?
2-2 against Bowers now.
1 out.
Oh, man. No! No, turn it off. Turn it off. We're not good luck. We are not good luck. That was all courtesy of the Brewers Radio Network.
This is Ben's fault. It's his idea.
Wait.
This is always Kyle might be onto something.
Kyle might be onto something. Oh, Ricardo is going to be fired up. In 2 minutes, we hear from KBN Nation. And Jair and Xavier McKinney working out together? Are the pack back, as Jair would say? Next in 2 minutes.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 59. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 59 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry, these high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
I appreciate all the real advice from KBN Nation who are parents, unlike Kyle, who's just saying when the kid cries on the 6-hour drive, just cry back at it. Wham back at the 14-month-old. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad, that's what you said. Brad Nortman. Does it sound worse when it comes out of somebody else's mouth?
It's not. Now people are going to think I hate kids.
Kyle love the kids.
I
Kids love Kyle?
They do. They do.
Wham! Wham! Wham back at Strofe.
Wham, Strofe. Wham! You like that?
Man,
wham!
Even his wham.
Strofe's is very like a heady, like wham. Yours is very guttural and deep down, Kyle.
Yeah, because you got to go
like they said, they're going to traumatize the kid.
My little cousin, I did that to her, and she looked at me. And she
Ricardo
was like,
in Canada. I got a couple things for you, Ricardo, but first I feel like you want to have a bone to pick with Kyle here, 800-990-3776. Ricardo in Canada, you're up.
Hey, Ricardo.
I appreciate that. Kyle, you're pretty much the guy that says, tell me I don't have a kid without telling me I don't have a kid, because, yeah, that was not going to work. You will not do that to your kids for 2 reasons. One, when it's somebody else's kid, it's always easier, because if it doesn't work out, you give them back. And 2, your girl will throw something at you if you ever did that to their child. I guarantee you that.
Powerful.
Now, in turn, Ben, I travel to Europe on an 8-hour flight every summer with my little one. I don't care what people tell you. Baby Tylenol. It will knock them out for 3 hours easy.
He's drugging kids. Yo mad at me? That's who you gonna take advice from? You just hear that? He said drugger. He said Kipper, the baby, Tylenol. I don't know what type of rules I got in Canada, but we don't do that here in America. We ain't drugging our
just
babies.
double that dose. Just double that dose.
Go ahead and knock her out.
Man, Ricardo, you were killing it until that.
Wow.
Is he still on the line? Because I do want to ask him about the Green Bay Packers. Because, Ricardo, you are a Packer backer till the death. And I know you love you some Willie and Tausch as well as some Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. But Old T and Willie and Tausch got after us a little bit because we're holding Goody to the standard that he set out to have the urgency to win championships. Are you satisfied with this offseason?
So far, yeah, I am. And I'll tell you why. Because he's building a team that's built to win. He's just not doing it the way that we expect him to do it. And it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just what he thinks and what I believe is right. If we had a strong offensive line against the Eagles in the wild card, we probably could have won that game. We lost our left guard. That's probably not going to happen. We have depth now. And with the influx of talent coming from the draft, I'm pretty sure he's going to keep building it. Yeah, do we need a number one wide receiver? Yeah. But Kansas City's won the Super Bowl for how many years in a row without a number one wide receiver?
They also have
Philadelphia
Patrick
doesn't have a number one
Mahomes and
wide
Andy
receiver.
Reid. They've done it
and
multiple
Tyreek Hill
times, so they have
early
proof
on.
of concept. We're trying to get back to a Super Bowl for the first time in 15 years.
Yeah, but you know what? But it doesn't happen overnight. Don't forget, the Philadelphia didn't win off of their offense. They won the Super Bowl off of their defensive line, and that I agree is a huge liability. But there really wasn't anybody like for the money that people were making. Who do you think would have really made a difference on our defensive line compared to everybody else? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone's talking about Josh Sweat. He's an okay player, but we already have players with that potential for far cheaper. We got to sign our own guys, and I'd rather just draft guys with higher upside. I guarantee he's going to go to Arizona and not do that well. It's a collective. You got to understand. I truly believe that Philadelphia. We use Philadelphia as an example. Jalen Carter, they had a really bad year. They were top 10. They picked Jalen Carter, fall into our lap. And he transformed that defense. He was unblockable, and he made everyone else around him. We don't have that player.
How long are you going to have there be a Super Bowl drought before you get impatient? Are you impatient yet?
Of course, I'm impatient. I'll be impatient to the point when we become a team like Cleveland or listen to me, Cleveland or like a Dallas or like a Seattle, where we're always in the mix, but we never actually.
That's fair, Ricardo. I just want to keep the conversation moving. I love you on both points, but again, that is fine. I'm accepting that answer as like reasonable because he has the expectations, but he also said, I'm okay with it until we turn into X, Y, or Z, which nobody wants to be the Cowboys. Nobody wants to be the Browns. So he's saying until we fall to those places, I'm satisfied with the way that they're building teams.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Kyle? Can't stop thinking about Tylenol?
Strofe offered me $1 to try to slip baby Tylenol into what I was going to say, and I tried to think of it like, damn, I want
Why
that
didn't you say something like, this drought is as painful as slipping into a 15-year, coma due to baby Tylenol?
Oh,
something like that.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you reached there, Brad.
Kyle, I think you
for
now owe me $1 for ratting me out like that.
Yeah. Why you do that?
I was trying to think so hard about how I could do that.
That is quite a peek behind the curtain.
There's such a
things entertaining for myself.
There's such a funny dynamic because Ben and Strofe can talk to one another, and then Kyle, me, and Strofe can talk to one another. So there's just always these really weird
silos. We're like the Green Bay Packers.
It is
We're
siloed.
system.
We're siloed.
We are very siloed, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Strofe distracted me because money is my
language.
Oh my gosh,
tonight
it is.
Both.
I tell you,
yeah.
I love me some money.
$1.
Hey, Kyle,
he lost his mind, Strofe, because you offered him $1 to slip baby Tylenol into a sentence.
Kyle, can you power rank money, baby girl, and the kids? Which one you love most, the least?
Oh wow,
the least.
Wait. So number one, you like the least?
No. So start with the one you like the least, and then the one you like the middle, and then the one you love the most.
Okay.
Because you love the kids, you love money, and you love baby girl.
All right. Let me be smart today because I want to have a very happy house.
Ooh, let's add the Green Bay Packers in there too.
Okay, Green Bay
so
Packers
good.
number 4.
Oh, wow. Fraud Packer fan.
Kids number 3, money number 2, and baby girl's always number 1.
You love
money over kids? Clearly. I mean, this makes sense.
I love my
based-
girl, but I ain't spending $3 on her. I can have kids right now if I wanted kids. Like, let's be honest. Like, in my player days, I could have had some kids. I mean, I could have just had some.
What?
Hey,
What?
but kids are expensive.
supposed to
Child
mean?
support is expensive. Listen, baby Tylenol ain't cheap. It ain't. And so I'm just
Hey!
saying,
Yeah!
I'm just saying,
$1?
kids are expensive, and I mean.
So are you going to not love your kids as much because they suck away with so much of that money you love?
No, but I have been told that, Kyle, you cannot complain to the kids about how much they're going to cost you. I've been told.
Did your father do that to you?
No. Papa Wallace didn't. He didn't talk about. He didn't say, "Damn, y'all kids expensive very often."
It sounds like that was verbatim of what he said.
No, y'all want to hear a funny story? A really funny story?
Yes,
absolutely.
So this is where I get it from. So one time, my dad is at a famous Wisconsin restaurant here on Capitol in Milwaukee, Fond du Lac and Capitol, and he's ordering food. And my auntie is in the same place. This is my mom's sister, her brother-in-law, and he's in front of the line, she's in the back, so he does not see her. And so my auntie just hears a voice, and the voice is my dad's voice saying, can I get a kids meal on that? Grown ass man asking for a kids meal. And my auntie was like, that must be him. Like, that must be Kyle's dad. And it was him ordering the kids meal.
Can I be
at like 50?
Okay. We never went as far to actually ordering it.
Man,
But
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Brad and Kyle trading cheap stories.
Before our current household with our boys right now for foster care, we had some older girls. They were like 8 and 5, and one time we
starved them.
Well, not starved.
They ain't good over there.
Yeah, we went to a restaurant that was in Delafield. And we get takeout, and like Lexi and I got like the adult menu, and the kids got kids menu. And the kids' menu portion sizes were massive. Mean massive. And wouldn't you know if I looked at Lexi and said, we should order out from here and just get kids menu. It was like $9 versus my $29 thing.
I would've did it.
And it would have been plenty of food. I haven't done it yet, but that's always in the back of my mind a little bit. I could get a $9 great dinner if I just order off the kids meal.
You know what? There's also a Mexican restaurant as well where you can get a kids bowl.
And the kids bowl is pretty filling?
Kids bowl is half the price, and it's filling. Sure is, half the price.
Unbelievable.
And I went to one close to a college, and I guess all the college kids do, and they tried to upcharge. I said, I don't even want it. I don't want it.
I see. Because I was thinking I could just pull up to the restaurant, get a couple of kids' meals and be, sir, where's your kids? And just be like, they're in the car. Just getting my kid in the car. No problems. They wouldn't know.
They shouldn't question you. I like that in you, Brad.
Yeah, it's smart.
Like
I'll tell you off air where it is. You can order from it if you ever find yourself, the western area of Milwaukee.
Speaking of, I just want everybody to know, because I love KBN Nation. I love you, Brad, and you, Ben, as well. There is National Burrito Day is tomorrow. And there are BOGOs all across this great city and state.
My God. I'm listening.
Listen, they have National Burrito, buy one, get one burrito at all the restaurants. You think of it?
All the chain
all the
restaurants
chains got buy one, get one tomorrow. I have been waiting a week for this. I have been waiting.
Do you
a
have
whole
every
week for
BOGO in the state of Wisconsin on a food calendar in your work?
I love Teacher Appreciation Week. Oh my gosh,
You're not a teacher.
The hell I am. I got my.
No, you don't.
I still got my. I hope I have it in my wallet. I changed up my wallet. I may still have my. Let me see if I still got my. So I still got my Central Michigan ID in here just in case I want to get the.
You're scamming restaurants?
The wings at Brothers. The college ID.
Wait, when does that expire?
It doesn't matter. Here it is. What this say? What that say?
It says Kyle Wallace, Marquette University.
Teacher Appreciation. Here he is. Here's ID.
Get out of here.
Here's the ID. There it is. I win my free.
And what kind of discounts you get with
you
that?
get on Teacher Appreciation. We can get free food.
But you're not a teacher.
Here it is. What does
I
say?
guess I'm not a kid
What does
either,
that
so.
say?
It says an employee of Marquette University.
Oh, okay then. What you mean? I'm not a teacher. How you gonna say my ID ain't valid? Who that look like?
I'm done with you guys.
Kyle, I actually respect the hell out of that. I respect the hell out of that.
Who is that?
Central Michigan
Who
University.
is that? What you mean I'm not a student? I'm a graduate student. What are you talking about?
Wait, you get student meals and teacher meals?
I'm telling you, I'm being dead serious. Brothers on Water Street, they used to have like 10-cent wings. It was 25-cent or 75-cent if you're just a regular person. But students
regular person.
Yeah.
But for students, what did I do? I slipped my ID. Come on. I'm a student.
Kyle, you're in your mid-30s.
It don't matter.
People are in their mid-30s in grad school.
I'm an adult learner. What you mean?
Lifelong learner.
I'm ready for everything. I get all the deals, baby.
How many cards do you have?
Enough to
A
get by.
plethora. Yeah. He's got a whole, notebook.
I was in college more recently than him, and I don't have my ID.
I got it on me just in case, so if you can't, them college discounts work out.
I respect the grind. That is grinding.
Speaking of good discounts, that's 0% financing with Gina Della Frappella.
Oh, that is
You
great.
guys probably could have done another 2 hours and 45 minutes of the rest of the show talking about free meals.
It's insatiable. That's why I love going to our great partners, one of which is Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. That's right. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is your go-to place for windows, doors to transform your home from the inside out. Not only that, the deals that they have with low interest, be able to pay it off over time. They're going to work with you and your budget to make sure that your dream project comes to life. So if you're finally making it ready to take that step to increase your home value, decrease your energy cost, and just have your home be a transformed living space, then you got to go with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com for more information.
855-PELLA-WI, PellaWI.com. Check it out. Diana from Aguanago, Kyle's #1 fan. How do you feel about him ripping off restaurants as a fake student and fake teacher?
Hey, Dirty D.
If you can get the deals, if you can get all the deals, why not? I look for all the deals too. I don't have any college IDs like he has, but if you go somewhere and they got some deals, heck yeah, I'm picking up the deals myself.
Yeah, thank you, Dirty D. I impacted enough kids. Well, I deserve this. I deserve a lifetime of teacher appreciation for all the kids I impacted around this great city of Milwaukee.
You taught walking exercise classes.
Yeah.
I also I was a
Right?
substitute teacher. I was a high school football coach, and I recruited students to go to Marquette University. There are kids who are changing lives because of me.
How many kids you keep in touch with?
Oh, I got kids who call me coach all the time.
Kyle, look,
No, real talk. Matt Easel, who you can hear on Marquette College Game
Oh,
Day,
yeah.
he went to Marquette, and guess what? There were some kids who I brought in from Philadelphia who are
Born
working
and
in
raised.
You said what now?
West
Born and
Philadelphia?
I don't know.
West Philadelphia, born and
I was
raised?
joking.
No,
you know what? You're
they're not West
You're on a
Philadelphia.
timeout.
Yeah, you're on a
timeout.
roll. I respect that, Kyle.
Thank
I
you.
respect the grind.
Begrudgingly, I turn to the other cheapo of the show, Brad Nortman, for Hear Brad Out next. It's probably going to be how to get free meals the rest of your life.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You should be happy Pac-Man Jones had this on his headphones, or he definitely would have pulled up on you.
I think Pac-Man's lucky I didn't have this on my headphones.
Oh, you right.
I would have
You
been.
right.
I'm really feeling swaggy and confident.
You say, yeah, you're in my space. What you gonna do?
Because even just hearing the song, like, for those who on the YouTube, they can see I'm bobbing my head right now. Like, this is like, okay.
Go ahead, say ski.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we start off with a problem northbound on 94, north of Howard Avenue. We've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash. Pretty much a big old mess through there. So give yourself tons of time to get through that. We've also got an accident or disabled vehicle on southbound 43 right about at North Avenue. It's off on the left shoulder. That's tightening things up as well. Other than that, we've got delays northbound on 43 coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound slowing from North Avenue down through the Marquette. Westbound 94 backed up from about 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy with a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 53. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's a Weed Man Wednesday on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. Weed Man for the win.
Now here it's been so long.
Bryce Terang lays down the squeeze bunt at the end in the bottom of the 11th for the Milwaukee Brewers. And they are victorious for 2 in a row, win the rubber match against the Kansas City Royals.
Won the series, baby.
Did win the series. Like I said,
1-1 in series.
Brad, you asked Tuesday after opening day?
Yeah.
Make me feel better?
Yes.
I said, don't panic.
2 wins makes me feel better.
That being said, I'd like to update on Freddie Peralta. 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned.
That's good. That's real good. How many strikeouts? How many Ks? He probably
Freddie had 8 Ks.
Yeah.
8 Ks. A much-needed pitching performance from the Milwaukee Brewers.
No
and
panic.
just like that, they're 2 games below 500. And if this was halfway through the season, no one would be panicking. Right back to where they need to be. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more time now. You always have to get the Talk and Text line out like 3 times because Brad usually says something ridiculous. 800-990-3776. I want your reaction to hear Brad out.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
All right, guys.
That was pretty good, Ben. You know what? I had a take a couple weeks ago on the NCAA tournament that was not received very well, but I got a new take that I think you all are going to agree with me on.
What was it again?
It was that they should get rid of the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 monikers because those aren't really much to celebrate. But you know what is a lot to celebrate? That is the Final Four. The Final Four is going to be Saturday night. National Championship is going to be on Monday. And you know what my take is, guys?
No, I don't.
There's only number 1 seeds here in this Final Four.
First time since 2008.
And only been 2 times since the tournament expanded in 1985. If it's not for a Wisconsin team Wisconsin, Marquette, even Green Bay and Milwaukee. Darn it, I am rooting for number 1 seeds. I hate the Cinderella story. I don't want a Cinderella story in the Final Four. When I look at this year's Final Four, I love seeing all 1 seeds. Only 2 times has there been number 1 seeds, all number 1 seeds in the Final Four, and only 4 times has there only been 1 and 2 seeds. Now you look at the times when, teams that are higher seeds make it. Guys, I have no interest in watching those games. Do you guys remember the Final Four in 2023? Remember that one?
Was it FAU?
It was FAU 9 seed. Miami,
San Diego State
5 seed. UConn a 4 and Miami a 5. Now, what do you think the ratings were on that Final Four?
The lowest they'd ever been.
They stunk. They were the lowest they've ever been. Way below the year before, which was Kansas, UNC, Duke, and Villanova. For me, for my money, I am interested not in a Cinderella story. You okay to go to the Sweet 16? I'm okay with that. But Elite 8, Final Four, this is supposed to be the crescendo of the college basketball season. So if that means rooting for Duke, rooting for Florida, and Houston and Auburn to get there, even though they're sort of the big bad boys of the college basketball season, I'm okay with that. I want Cinderella stories only in the early rounds, but the Final Four, I want no Cinderella stories. Ratings agree with me. I think you guys will agree with me too. That when you get to this point, I want only marquee matchups. I want only star power. I want only dominant teams. The years where there's a Cinderella story, a 9, a 10, a 12 seed, not interested at all. Love the number 1 seeds. I want this every single year, as long as it's a Wisconsin team that doesn't break it.
I mean, unfortunately, I completely agree with Brad.
My man.
I mean, I love the upsets in the early rounds, but I want to see the best play at the end.
Did you always call me Greg?
No.
Sure?
Positive, unless I said it out loud.
You did say it out loud.
Brad?
Something like that.
Yeah. Go look it up, Strofe. I didn't.
You said I agree with Brad.
I'm honored.
Yeah, you did almost say Greg. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Cinderellas are fun until they're not. Rob chimes in. HBO, thumbs down. Hear Brad out, thumbs down. Cinderellas are fun. They're fun until the end. The better team usually does win. How many Cinderellas have won the whole thing?
Not very
many. And even the Cinderellas that did, like if you consider
marquee program in 2014, UConn won when we lost in the Final Four.
Yeah, they were a 7. I mean, I'm scrolling back and I'm only seeing 1, 2s, and 3 seeds. But that's great because you look at it and you say, okay, the best teams usually end up winning. But I want an enjoyable ride there.
I'm mad. This year, Brad out stunk because it's too reasonable. Yeah. You've been going off the wall, and I love those.
Okay, well, there's plenty of those in the hopper, so tune in to always the 315. So you have some reasonable ones in there too.
No,
you
don't
like reasonable?
No reasonable.
So you don't want a 5 seed or lower ever making it to a Final Four?
Never, unless it's Wisconsin.
I disagree. I think getting
I'll go
1.
as far as saying I want only 1s and 2 seeds.
Cinderella story. Remember when?
That's only happened 10% of the time. 10% of the tournament, it's only 1s and 2 seeds.
Loyola Chicago. There's just such a great storyline. Like
not
you just watch. You say, what do you mean? So you're not interested in an old lady?
No, I'm not. I want the best.
He's an ageist.
Yeah,
I want the best possible basketball for the final 3 games of the college basketball season.
Yeah.
I don't want Loyola Chicago. I want, if it's not a Wisconsin team, give me UNC and Kansas and Duke and all the teams that are like the studs.
So you're a front runner. You just want the blue bloods.
Yeah.
Or Wisconsin.
I do. And it's the same way I would say with the NFL. I want, if it's not the Packers or the Panthers or the Jags, give me the best
Panthers or the Jags?
Yeah,
Ooh.
they cut me checks.
What a trash Super Bowl those were.
Brad is an entitled jerk per Lasagna in Milwaukee. Just wants to watch 1 seeds. If you're the little guy, Brad hates you.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Brust and Mr. Nortman
What
kick
a surprise.
rocks.
Tell me, Kyle, you can't tell me that it's better games and you're more interested when it's like a 5 seed and a 9 seed.
The Cinderella story is the reason why they call it a Cinderella story because it's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful for them to try to put the slipper on. Even though they never put the slipper on, it's cool to watch them attempt. Like even when Butler almost upset Duke in Final Four
That's not even really that big of an upset.
Cinderella story.
Weren't they like a 4 or 5 seed or were they higher than that?
I mean, they went to the national championship game in back-to-back years.
Well, they
were recruiting me at that time. At no point did I ever consider them as an underdog.
Well, it's still a good story from a small
It is because they were in the Horizon League at the time. They're
They
now
were
in the
number
Big
5
East.
in 2010. They were number 8 in 2011.
Yeah, I appreciate the storyline, and I think the storyline is definitely cool. Again, I don't need them to win a national championship, but getting there, like the journey to get to the Final Four is always something that shocks everybody, and it always makes people smile. Like NC
Shocked
State
me.
last year. Yeah, it did, yeah. NC State last year, when they made the run, everybody was like, "Oh wow, that's like it's cool to see the run." I mean, it's gonna.
Okay, now you're trying to be like
No, it's
too
true.
tough.
Because like Kyle wants this like Cinderella. I want Clash of Titans.
Remember the big dog,
That's
dude.
what I
I don't
want.
even know his
DJ
name.
Burns.
Man, DJ Burns was hoping. He like 6'8", 300 pounds, balling.
Big dog.
Yeah, big dog DJ Burns or DJ Big Dog Burns.
So you were more
Went
interested
around-
in the NC State game last year in the Final Four than you were against like the, I guess it was what, UConn, Alabama? Maybe that was like a 1 versus a 4 seed? You liked the 1 versus 11 seed more?
You're curious to see what happens. You're curious. I'll take that.
Kyle doesn't even watch these games. Is the funny part.
No, I usually. It depends on how much I'm invested in Wisconsin. So I did not watch the games after. I didn't watch Thursday night's game. It was just too much. I was still hurting about Wisconsin. Nobody wants to see BYU
Have we
play.
decided who we're rooting for the Final Four of these teams?
No.
I like. I'm a big fan of Bruce
Houston.
Pearl, but I also like Calvin Sampson. So.
I want to see Houston just bring the heat to Duke and put them on their heels because they are not good on their heels. They're really talented. I just want to see them squirm a little bit.
You like Duke, I thought.
Conca Nipple, your boy.
Yeah, you said you liked him.
Again,
might say.
very
Bad
good
dude.
team, very talented team. But there's something about the way Houston plays where they got some dogs.
Yeah, no, I like Calvin Sampson and I like Bruce Pearl.
And we like giving away great opportunities, especially around the NFL draft.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Benny. Transport yourself to the 06010 because Fantasy Focus Football Podcast is coming to Green Bay. That is the night before the draft. Wednesday, April 23rd. Phil Yates, Daniel Dopp, Stefania Bell, Liz Loza, Mike Clay, and crew are doing a live show at the Tundra Trio just outside of historic Lambeau Field. ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller 7 will win 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Podcast live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all the hosts, and get complimentary food and drinks and Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. Caller 7 right now to 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details.
I will admit when I'm wrong, and I think I'm wrong about the way that I felt about Jair Alexander.
Oh, wow.
Is the pack back? Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I put my card in, I pump. When it clicks, I pull it out, I put it away, and I move on to my own.
That's what she said. Thanks so much, Old T.
She pumps and moves on with her life.
Take it out, put it in, move down.
That's what she said.
Come on, Kyle. Keep up. That's Packers Hall of Famer. That was one of my better ones, and he's confused.
Well,
he's still fixated on Lola Bunny.
No,
from
I don't
earlier.
think she says that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We've got some backups right now along northbound 4394. Couple of accidents happened right around the Holt Howard Avenue area. We've got off on the right shoulder, and then we've got another one a little bit further on the left shoulder. Both of these causing some problems, so careful with that. On southbound 43, we've got a crash on the left shoulder right about at North Avenue, so that's going to be affecting your ride as well. Giving yourself extra time would be wise there. Slowing continues all the way through the Marquette, though. Northbound's going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Westbound 94, you're looking at delays from about 20th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. And as the game lets out of AmFam Field, you are going to start to see some more delays on both directions of 94. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy with the low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 53. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Parsons is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And a year ago, that would have been around $35.5 million. Now, it's going to be north of $40 million in lieu of the Myles Garrett deal. So and Jamar Chase. So that's what Jerry Jones is looking at. The only question is, when is he going to give Micah Parsons all of this money? And knowing how deliberate Jerry has been with his contract negotiations, I wouldn't hold my breath on that deal.
I'm not holding my breath either, but I really can't understand this tactic from a business or negotiation standpoint. Jerry Jones is once again doing this, let's wait and see how this plays out. Let's wait until the last final second to get this.
A day late and $1 more.
You said it, CC, and boy, is he sticking to it. But he's doing it yet again with another star, this time with Micah Parsons, just like he did it with CeeDee Lamb and just like he did it with Dak Prescott.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you're going to be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Verizon locations and enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. ESPNWisconsinContest.com for official rules. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman with you, KBN Nation. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. Alex Strofer on the show. See us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, it was very interesting to see how this all played out because of the money that the Packers could have saved by potentially cutting Jair Alexander, I think by June 1st, I believe. And then there was conversation around, well, what can we get for him? I don't know. Xavier McKinney, the all-pro safety on Instagram, said, great work, Ja Money. Posted a video of them working out together. And maybe I'm prisoner of the moment, but the idea of seeing Jair Alexander with Xavier McKinney gave me life, especially after all that they did was sign Nate Hobbs in the offseason.
I mean, McKinney is a smart guy. He's a smart player. He says the right things. I mean, when the Packers were reeling a little bit throughout the season, he was the one that was the vocal point for the defense. So McKinney's smart. He knows what this is going to mean posting this. And he went ahead and posted it anyway. Jair looks happy. He looks locked in. He looks engaged. So if I'm going to get that kind of Jair, as opposed to saving $6 million or even trading him, what are you going to get for trading him? A 6th-round draft pick, 5th? That's not going to do much. But if the Packers have McKinney, and Evan Williams, maybe Bullard at the safety positions. Now you got Nate Hobbs, you got Jair Alexander, Nixon, and Valentine. Boy, that's a formidable secondary. That goes from being like a position group where you're like,
we're drafting and hoping to develop somebody with these guys
to looking
like, hey, like we're competitive.
Dude, we only have then 2 position groups that we need to fill up before making a big Super Bowl run, being wide receiver and DN.
The only thing I want to throw out there as a hold on. Last time we did this, it was Josh Jacobs at the Super Bowl about Devontae Adams. Jordan Love talking about wanting a wide receiver 1.
Oh, it's different, though. It's different.
Okay, tell me how it's different, because he's still on the roster?
This guy is still on the roster. You have the general manager himself talking about, Jair's a good player. Like, obviously, they want to figure out what they're going to do with him, and he did not rule out that Jair would not be on the roster. That's one thing that we did not hear, right? We didn't know about free agents or whether or not he was going to look into Devontae Adams. We didn't know if they were going to try to make a call about Myles Garrett or Trey Hendrickson. What we do know is he's commented on Jair Alexander multiple times, and clearly there's some, there's some friction between those two, but he left the door open for Jair Alexander to potentially come back. And as Brad just said, this defensive backing core is a lot better with Jair versus without Jair. And we complained about the defensive line. You know what helps defensive linemen get home to the quarterback?
Time to do so.
Time to do so in coverage sacks. So understanding that we just need to accept what the reality is. Jair Alexander is not going to give you a full 17-game season. He's just not going to do it. So we shouldn't expect that. So what you can do is to say, hey, if we can get Jair healthy for 10 games this season and then he can make an impact in the playoffs, then you are feeling really, really good about where the Green Bay Packers are. I would take that in a heartbeat, because what we can then do is this. The Green Bay Packers can draft a rookie cornerback, and they can bring him along. If you draft a rookie cornerback in the first round or maybe in the second round, and say Jair has an issue again where this year, the last couple games of the season, he's not able to play, well, hopefully after the first 10, 11 games, that rookie cornerback that you draft early may be able to step in. Or even better, after this season, when you're probably going to for sure move on from Jair, you guess what? You have the heir apparent right there waiting to take over. The Green Bay Packers...
Even if it's not the heir apparent, it's depth.
But no, listen, heir apparent. I draft somebody in the first and second round to replace Jair.
Slow down. Just because they're getting Jair doesn't mean first and second round should be a cornerback. It's got to fall to you the right way. Plus, we know the needs at wide receiver and defensive end.
But we also know they're not drafting a wide receiver in the first round unless something shakes out.
Not according to Bradley Nortman.
They're going to. This is the meeting of the year. This is the meeting of the year.
So I guess the question is, like, are you okay if Jair Alexander only plays 10 games next year?
Why would you not be? Who cares? Like, if you set the you know how we have the expectation set high for the Green Bay Packers to win games? My expectation of Jair, if he plays 10 games, great. Christian Watson, nobody thought Christian was going to have a full season last year. Nobody thought that. Why? Because we set the bar and expectations lower. It is what it is. We're paying a guy a lot of money that we wish he would play a full season. We wish he would be healthy, but the reality is that's not what you're going to get. We are better off having a corner who even last year when he was healthy was still one of the best corners in the NFL as a pass coverage guy. That helps this football team do what? Win games. I'm not in it to care about, he's not playing, he's not on the field. Bumps that. When he plays, we win. I want to win games, and he helps us win games.
And Love and Football chimes in. Last 10 games or random 10 games? I mean, obviously, if we could pick, it would be the last 10 games, but it's hard to prognosticate potential injuries. And he may not get injured, but the history prognosticate. Yep, I did that. Big Rob says he's not leaving because Goody wants more than what he's going to get, so he won't move on. Just hope that he can rework that contract. That would be a big thing if they could restructure him. But I don't know if Goody's willing to restructure him and commit to him potentially longer.
Who cares at this point? Like, whatever, man.
It's another reflective of this team going all in, keeping a guy that was at least at some point all-pro. And when he's healthy and mentally locked in, he's still under 30, and he still plays at a very high level. So if you look at this, you always have to consider, well, what's the alternative? Okay, if you don't have Jair Alexander, what's the alternative?
Keyshawn Nixon.
That's a little bit scary. Keyshawn Nixon, and you roll the dice on some rookie that could be good, but he could get cooked. He could be a liability. If you're telling me that I can get Jair Alexander for 10 games, I'm going to take that and roll the dice, because this is not, again, if it goes back to a little bit of a sense of urgency, a little bit of putting together a capable contending roster, I believe Jair Alexander can be a part of that. Now, do I love the fact that you're going to pay him $20-some million for 10 games? No, I don't love that. But again, the alternative, not very good in a passing-centric league. And we know we can't trust the D-line to get pressure, so your secondary better be locked in.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
Oh, you disagree with us, Strofe?
Not the lie.
I'm going to try and play the other side because I just called you guys out for groupthink. We're going to skip Alex Strofe and go to Sean and Beaver Dam. Sean and Beaver Dam, 800-990-3776. You win on Jair?
Yes. Hey, gentlemen. Kyle, I hope you get back on a winning streak. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, sir. I just want to win.
Absolutely, definitely.
0-7 against the spread is less 7 bets, just for context there.
I know. I listen. But anyways, I also hope you guys talk about the new salary cap in the NCAA, and that $20 million thing and who can really contend with that and who can't. But anyway, Jair, I've called him Jair Bakhtiari before. I guess if McKinney's going to be massaging him after every game and trying to keep him on the field for 10 games, I guess then we can't get anything for him. We really don't have much of a choice. I love him when he's playing, obviously. We all do.
I love him when he's playing, but...
But as Kyle, I think he trolled me one day when I said the best of ability is availability. The next day, he I swear to God, I'm like, he just trolled me, I think. But he's just not available. And it's... But I agree with your points, all of you, when you said, you know what, if we got him for 10 games and we can't get anything else for him, we've got to do the best, and McKinney hopefully is a good masseuse and can keep him on the field as long as possible.
All right, Sean, easy on this masseuse stuff going on there.
I'm not going to disagree.
I like the group thing. Welcome to the club, Sean.
At a minimum, Kyle, again, not to reiterate this group think, but they would be doing what they're not doing for the wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. If you've got Jair there, if you've got some veterans there, at least there's a phase out and a phase in. Goody has this mindset, we're just going to throw guys in there and let them rip. Well, the Ted Thompson days didn't do that. Even the Ron Wolf days didn't do that. You got some veterans, you got some young guys. There's learning, there's a phase in and a phase out, and that's a very healthy way to build a consistent team.
And I love the fact that just simply this is that Xavier McKinney is obviously a positive influence on him.
He's a captain for a reason.
They clearly like each other, right? Like, you don't just hang out with people. And Brad, you know this. Like, guys just...
If he was done with Jair, to quote Kyle, bumps him.
Yeah, and if Jair was done with the Green Bay Packers, he wouldn't be working out with him. But he's like, you know what? I like this guy. And obviously, he may be upset, maybe friction, but his boy's still on the team. These guys have literally been teammates for barely over a year. And they're working out together.
That's a good point.
They're building a bond. So that bonds can help keep people together and keep him from going off the ledge during the season. If he gets mad about something, it's like, bro, I got you. And that helps the Green Bay Packers.
And speaking of staying healthy, there's a wonderful way you can do so, and that's at the Princeton Club in the Madison area or New Berlin. You can have that strong body that you want to achieve while having a strong mind, while helping create strong communities like the Princeton Club is able to do. You can have a great day working out, getting those endorphins flowing, having that awesome mindset throughout the week, and you can be just going over there, checking in, and then it's creating meals for local pantries. There's always something going on at all the different Princeton clubs where you can feel a part of the community. So whatever the goal is, it could be small, it could be large, that is the place for you. With free childcare with the membership, they're open 24/7. Weights, cardio, workout classes, spin classes, functional training, personal training, you name it, they have it. Basketball, tennis, swimming. Check out your local Princeton club. Join for a better tomorrow. We wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin Hour before the 414 Hour at 4. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Oh, wow. North? Spread Eagle is way north. Way north.
Stop. You're doing the thing where you don't know what you're doing.
No, it is, though.
We don't know where up north is.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I always loved the line, I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to prove us right.
But that's from a non-petty person. A petty person would never say that.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is that why Tom Petty was playing when you came back on?
Yeah. That's Matchbox 20.
Kurt Petty.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, Carbless Mango Vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new Carbless Mango Vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens: anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with the group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
She's so sweet with her get back stare. Well, I can see you.
We welcome in 100.5 ESPN Madison after the Brewers win 3-2 in extras. Bryce Terang lays down a squeeze bunt in the bottom of the 11th, 1 out. The Brewers get it done, win the rubber match against the Kansas City Royals, now 2-4 after a horrid start. Run differential didn't get help today.
Who cares? That doesn't matter. We'll
A dub is a dub.
Give me those wins.
Get victories, baby.
2 on our way to 84 that we need?
2 out of 84 for the over.
2 more, baby.
Okay.
We should put some.
I'm going to create a graphic where it's like a long printout, and I'm going to cross out each win.
I don't want you to
You don't want me to do anything?
You just leave it alone.
Yeah, the more you invest into it, the more it's going to
You are talking down to me right now.
I'm not talking down to you. I'm talking up to my Milwaukee Brewers. That's what it is. It's not even about my money at this point. Whatever. $10, it is what it is. I lost enough.
Wow.
I want my I want my Brewers to be successful.
But think about what that $10 could do for a good BOGO, Kyle.
It could help. Could cover.
That's 2 deals.
10 plus the winnings.
Gosh, the winnings pay for the BOGO. It's free. But something I can't suffer through is a losing season of the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's so early.
I am just. the Packers, the way that they're trending, that they're going to be good, but they're also probably going to lead to heartbreak, and the Badgers are going to suck. I can't go into September with the Brewers just not playing for anything.
Yeah, that would stink. From suck to heartbreak to stink.
I will say, we talk about the Packers and trying to, how can we get that championship level? Well, the Badgers football was in a similar situation where they're always good, but they're never the national champion. And now they're bad. And I'm just depressed about it.
This is the worst.
I don't even want, it's one of those things where I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I just my Saturdays in the fall are just not the same. And that's the team that I have a heart for most.
Can y'all believe that 5 wins is the expectation? We all would be okay, 5 wins, they got to it, but you'll be disappointed, but you're like, that's about right. Oh,
especially this year.
Oh.
If it's 5.5, I might take the under. With this schedule?
Yeah, it might be.
Look at Betting Brad.
I mean, how about that? I just slid that in there.
Oh,
Betting Brad.
Will it be 4.5, Ben?
It'll be 5.5.
I've seen 5.5 on very early, because there's going to be a whole other transfer portal and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Usually, we were talking about this in the break. Usually, spring ball, we'd be like, let's go. Who's the quarterback? How we looking? Now,
when is spring ball?
Right now.
You're joking.
They're we're 8 practices still.
Yeah, in the midst of it
I'm not even lying. They are legitimately.
How are the SWAC transfers? How's the Grambling State guy?
I'm sure he's looking good on the Instagram feed.
Sad, man.
He did his squat fest. I'm sure he put up a lot of weight.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
The kid from Grambling
Ryan
State,
from Iguanago, the Badgers will not suck. They are just average right now. Bet they win 6. Saying
6.
that out loud makes me want to cringe.
Be embarrassingly low. 6 wins for the Wisconsin Badger football team.
Oh gosh, wow! Expectations have just dwindled down.
To bring it back to what you were saying, Kyle,
help me, Brewers. We need you to do well.
Brewers, Packers, Bucks. Look, we can want championships, but there is an appreciation for being good.
Hey, maybe that was good perspective.
Yeah.
No groupthink there.
Yeah, we're trying to balance out this conversation.
Kyle, if the Brewers are bad, you'll be happy with the Packers winning 9 to 11 games and getting to the divisional round.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, but
do you need more out of that franchise?
No,
then?
losing hurts me. I don't care what it is, y'all. Misery is misery. Just because the Brewers.
Did you know you're a loser more than you're a winner?
Yes, I do understand that. Trust me. I see
the
it
impact on your brain. You're saying
no.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Or what these teams do to you?
Oh yeah. They give you
everyone's a loser every year except one team.
Yeah, I know, and it stinks. It really does.
Why do we do this?
Because it's fun.
It is fun
to watch and get excited.
Sports are fun. We like sports.
Strofe, why do you like sports? Because you stunk at them?
Yeah. I really want to know why you like them.
Why I like sports? Because I like competition. I like athleticism. I like watching things that you can't predict what's going to happen next.
Or you can't do yourself.
It's like a great movie, but you get a new one every day. It's I don't even know where to begin. Sports are everything. They're everything you could ever ask.
It's
the only unscripted
Keep it easy
drama.
now, because just in case your girlfriend is listening, sports are not everything.
Sports are everything.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you think sports mean more to you because you can't do them well?
I think sports mean more to me because I actually genuinely enjoy the passion and the drama and the fireworks that come every night.
That Brad and I got to feel.
Brad and Ben got to be a part of them and feel them. You
got to
lose
sit
in
on the
playoffs.
sideline.
Playoffs, excuse me. I stood, you only traveled with 55 for the national championship, but I was on the team that lost in the national championship. I was on the scout team.
For that?
We traveled, but we weren't actually suited up because you can only travel 55 kids. I was not
where
one of
were
55. You? We were Salem. I was sitting in the bleachers.
You went and watched.
The whole team went. You go and watch.
You watched
support.
the team you were on from the bleachers.
Cheerleader Kyle.
Yeah, I sure was. I got them ready to lose that game. I was on scout team.
How much responsibility do you take for that loss?
0. Absolutely 0.
Kyle struggling with accountability. Shocker.
Shocker
0.
indeed.
Hey, I wasn't on the field during the game.
I got them ready. How much do you have anything to do with it? 0.
I would have locked Cecil Shorts up. No, I'm just kidding. Cecil, shout out to Jeremy Diebert and Trony
Cecil
Shumpert.
Shorts, huh?
Trony Shumpert?
Yes.
Cecil Shorts is a D3 guy?
Yeah, Mount Union Cecil Shorts.
No kidding.
Torched us that game.
I didn't
boy.
know that.
He did this into the camera as he scored on us.
The Michael Jordan? Or no, the Michael Jordan security guard.
The usher guy.
It was before that. We looked in the camera like, I'm smoking him. I said, dang.
Jim, Matt, and Molly up next in Madison, Corey and Wally in the Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. We continue in Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with the 414 hour at 4. I said that very white. We'll have some more flavor coming up in 2 minutes.
the record store. You're gonna give them all your money. Radio.
We've got some backups right now along northbound 4394. Couple of accidents happened right around the Holt Howard Avenue area. We've got it off on the right shoulder, and then we've got another one a little bit further on the left shoulder. Both of these causing some problems, so careful with that. On southbound 43, we've got a crash on the left shoulder right about at North Avenue, so that's going to be affecting your ride as well. Giving yourself extra time would be wise there. Slowing continues all the way through the Marquette, though. Northbound's going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Westbound 94, you're looking at delays from about 20th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. And as the game lets out of AmFam Field, you are going to start to see some more delays on both directions of 94. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy with the low 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 53. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys. We making noise.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN. And really quickly, shout out to the MFD, the Milwaukee firefighters who are listening to KBN. Thank y'all for everything y'all do.
We have the firefighters listening to us?
Yeah, over there on, I want to say it's 80th in Silver Spring. Oh, they're going to get so bad.
I
Bradley,
love that.
80th and Bradley, something like
What's
that.
the connection?
Way to get it right.
Well, connection is...
They rescued Kyle from his bad takes.
No, my friend is a firefighter. He told me, man, listen.
You get stuck in a tree and they had to come get you or what?
No. My friend's a firefighter. Went to the bus game with him. He said, Kyle, I got people at the firehouse. They love listening to KBN. When they saw a picture one time of I was on a screen there. He was like, oh, that's my guy Kyle. They're like, you know Kyle? You know Kyle from KBN? I was like, yeah. That's my boy. And so shout out to the Milwaukee Fire Department saving lives all the time. So shout out to y'all.
Let's keep Kyle grounded here. We just got over Kyle sitting in the stands as Whitewater lost in the national championship game when he was on the team. Sean chimes in on Twitter at Ben Brust. Second place, Kyle.
I was.
Joined second place, Brad.
The water's warm over here, Kyle.
I'm happy to join. Brad earned his second place more than I did.
Fourth place, Ben.
Oh, you're third place.
I mean, you don't play a third place game.
Well, you're not. I'm
Give me
third.
third.
You in
Thank
third
you.
place. You got a ring. We all got rings here for our losses.
And we'll be celebrating the second place Badgers.
Do you have a ring, Strofe, from your debacle?
Ryan from McWanago on the text line. Shut up, Kyle. You suck.
Yep. Saw that one.
Hey, Ryan from McWanago.
Just like that.
Love you, buddy.
Man. Chef Ed chimes in.
Hey, Chef Ed.
A question on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Kyle Brust and Nortman, the 414 Hour 4. A question. What have I done that Brad never has?
What has Chef Ed done that I've never done?
Cheating on Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Actually, he did cheat by reading the answer wrong twice and get suspended.
That's true. This is like a trivia question. He has an answer?
He got an answer.
He can cook. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I can't cook.
Use seasoning.
Oh, Kyle's on fire. I don't know, Chef Ed. Tell me what he's done that
he's worn a Super Bowl ring.
Oh, wow.
A lot of them chings right now.
Wait till my
Good for
Packers
you,
win.
Chef
I'm going to
Ed.
get my shareholders ring. I won't take it off.
This just in, the firefighters have turned us off.
For real? They tweeted it in?
Good
We've got a lot
one-liners
of
today.
bad jokes to start the full one.
See, I love them all. No, you are just so gullible.
So dumb.
You're so
firefighters.
You got to be one of the dumbest humans on the planet.
Wow, that's pretty.
wow.
That is.
I mean, quite obvious.
We are
making a
doing
joke.
bad jokes right now.
Oh, well, that was a terrible joke then. I just thought maybe somebody text in.
You know what? I kind of want to keep this going. I want to get inside the mind of KBN Nation.
Oh, wow.
Why do you like sports? 800-990-3776. I'm joking, Strofe. I'm joking.
He was not joking. He was ready to go down that path. He was ready, and then you gave him just a little glimmer of like, I don't know. He said, "No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding." I love sports. I really do.
In a world that is like scripted and fake, sports are the only thing that's unscripted and real, baby.
And we can dissect what the teams are doing before they play games, and we will take a look at the wide receiver position.
Hold on, I want to hear this.
If this takes the show south, this is on you.
But wait a minute. Kyle. But Brad, didn't you say the NFL is scripted? Didn't you say that there's a script? You said that before.
It's not public, Kyle.
No,
Thank
I ain't
you.
doing this. Play Matt LaFleur.
I mean, yeah, that's something that we took a deep dive at. I think that was a big part of it, to be honest with you. It's just we had a ton of drops, and that's an area that we have to clean up. And, I mean, it takes all 11, right? We talk about it all the time. There were times where we had situations where we just didn't take advantage of it, and maybe it's just one guy missing a block, or a lot of things happen. There's a lot of variables, and it's definitely a long-winded answer, but I think that we've got a pretty good plan going into next season.
Do you believe in the plan? Because here's part of the plan, according to Matt LaFleur, on what McCole Hardman can bring.
Yeah, I mean, he's a veteran player he's played a lot of ball. I know he hasn't had a ton of production as a receiver in the last couple of years, but he has a speed element, a guy that, just going against him over the years and then studying him when he came out of college, that we had a lot of interest in. So I'm excited for him, just to get him ingrained in our system and see what he can bring. But certainly as a returner, I would expect some there.
Kyle?
Not a very ringing endorsement.
I haven't heard anybody say anything about him being a very talented receiver that's going to be an asset.
That's not why he's
not why he's here.
Well, then what the hell?
Yeah, what's McCole Hardman's
And he's
role
only
gonna be?
he's only making $1.5 million.
Yeah, but the problem is,
so don't treat him like he's going to be a wide receiver, impactful.
Well, then don't talk about speedster. I heard Goody talk about the fact that with Hardman, right? Like he's a guy that's going to be able to come and help us, and he's got a speedster and all that. And so I'm just thinking to myself, like, what are we doing? Like the receiving room must not be done. There's no way in the world you're spending $1.5 million on a guy that you think is going to replace Christian Watson because he's a speedster. So obviously this is a kick returner, and obviously they believe that they still have a hole in the receiving room because Christian Watson ain't walking through that door until maybe November. And so you got to find a way to replace him. And so my assumption is either they're drafting or they're crazy. There's one of the two.
If anything, it's a double whammy of bad news because we're agreeing that McCole Hardman isn't going to do much in the wide receiver room. He's going to be primarily a returner. That means that Keyshawn Nixon is getting his wish to not be a returner and focus on being cornerback one.
No, but we just had a discussion that Jair is on the roster. And until Jair is not on the roster, he is not cornerback one.
But until that gets affirmed,
He's still on the roster.
Don't you?
Jair is still on the roster.
So you could just go with like Jair all the way to training camp, and there won't be any sort of part of you where it's like, is the plan to have Jair? What's he doing?
Once we're past June 1st, I mean, the writing's on the wall.
What is he after?
He could do a post June 1st cut. Once June 1st comes, basically they no longer can save the $6 million or something like that.
Okay.
So he's locked in on the roster.
It just doesn't.
I mean, still move on from him. I'm sure trade him, but
at that point, you're like you
Yeah,
know
there's
what
no
you're getting
benefit.
for them. There's no one's gonna be popping up.
If they're
Be
still
like,
talking about this in in July, then that's a problem.
then there's not a plan.
The only thing you're going to get to him is a draft pick, and if you get like a 2026 draft pick, what good does that do? You're not going to get
Nothing
one
for this year.
A long way away. So, I mean, when I hear Matt LaFleur talk about that, one, not a very ringing endorsement from McCole Hardman, but he doesn't sound like he's particularly stressed. He's just like, yeah, it's
because he's not going to be that important to the team. I think the bigger thing is, I just wanted to clarify, McCole Hardman is not going to be able to replace what Christian Watson was. And if you thought that, he's not going to.
Well, he's a
based off
speedster.
I know you're talking in jest right now. Ugh, dang it, that's one of my words. Who is going to emerge? Because it's 3 guys. Are any of them going to be a 1,000-yard receiver? Will Tucker Kraft, will they have a 1,000-yard pass catcher?
I mean, history would say that they won't. I still contend that Tucker Kraft will be the guy that's most likely going to emerge as a number 1 pass catcher. But the thing about Jaden Reed, who I think is the closest thing to a wide receiver 1, is he's best in the slot. He's not best in the outside, where a wide receiver 1 would normally be. So, I mean, without a major move in the draft, I've been calling on the Packers to draft that wide receiver 1 in the first round this year.
Have you been holding your breath since 2002?
I've been holding my breath since like February. I don't think they've ever needed it nor desired it, but I think this is the year to do that. Because if they do that, if they get a guy who's a legitimate outside threat, right? Maybe he's not as a top 10 wide receiver this year, but he was a dude, that means Jaden Reed in the slot, Romeo Doubs on the outside, and Wicks in the slot too. That's a formidable room.
Here, I'm going to get you a little excited. A guy, Ted McMillan, a guy that you like from Arizona, right? I think you talked about it last week. He's dropping a a He said he doesn't watch film.
Oh, great.
Yeah, wonderful.
Hey,
is that supposed to make us feel better?
Yeah, listen. He's falling. You may get your wish because Goody was the only general manager that went out there to his private pro day or workout. So maybe you get your wish if a guy like that falls for not watching film. He has potential.
Kyle, $100 right now. I ask you the question, do the Packers have a 1,000-yard pass catcher next year? 800-990-3776. Someone gives you $100. You have to place it on one side. You can't keep it.
That just
1,000-yard pass catcher, yes or no?
It
Strofe on
hurts
Twitter
my
at KBN
heart.
ESPN.
You know I want to say over. I want to say I want to say yes. I want to say yes, but in my heart of heart, I'm concerned. I truly am concerned because we don't know what Jaden Reed can be without having to play within an offense where you have a designated reason that Christian Watson just isn't there because he's a great receiver. He also can help attract attention. He can stretch the field. He can open up things underneath. It helps Jaden Reed be better, right? And so you take away that element from the offense where there may be more of a focal point on Jaden Reed. Can Jaden Reed succeed? And so I don't know if the answer is yes. So if I had to put $100 on whether or not the Packers will have a 1,000-yard wide receiver for the first time in like 4 years, something like that, I'm going to say no.
Someone hands you $100. Do you believe the Packers will have a 1,000-yard pass catcher?
You know what? I am going to go with the over, now that I think about it, because you take away Christian Watson, so it's just less mouths to feed. Right? The problem with the Green Bay Packers was you're distributing the ball that's being spread out to all these different guys. But now that we know it's only, Reed, Doubs, and Wicks, 3 guys that are your marquee guys. Maybe you draft a guy. Hopefully you draft your guy. And you've got Tucker Kraft, who's your marquee guy. So there's only so many distributions to go around. There's only so many pass catches to go around. So when you remove a guy like Christian Watson, I think that just is going to elevate everybody else. I think it's either going to be Reed or Tucker Kraft. One of those guys will be at Reed or Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft have to have a heck of a season.
You're hesitating. You're hesitating.
You've really sold the group.
But think about it.
I agree with the premise of the less mouths to feed.
Reed last year had 850 yards, something like that, and he disappeared for like 7 games. So think about if he can just recreate some level of production and finish the year, he's going to be that 1,000-yard receiver. And that was with Malik Willis for like 3.5 games. And an injured Jordan Love.
I just think it's tough, especially understanding that even when Aaron Rodgers had some okay wide receivers, not great, he wasn't able to get these guys to have 1,000 yards. I mean, he only really had a Lazard on the team, but if Rodgers wasn't able to do it,
the only way
Jordan Love ain't Aaron Rodgers in his prime yet.
But it doesn't take
whoa.
What do you mean, whoa?
He had Alan Lazard, Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs.
Rookies, yeah.
poor Aaron Rodgers, like, of course he wasn't going to have a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Now, it's his fault he handpicked Lazard to make sure he was part of every team he was with. He's not a number one.
I'm just saying. I'm hopeful. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because it means this team is better with a 1,000-yard wide receiver.
24 guys last year in the NFL had 1,000 yards or more. 24.
It's not a lot.
It's 2/3 of the NFL.
No, that's
two-thirds of teams.
Sure. 2/3 of teams. That's what I mean.
Very good, Strong.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Thank you for qualifying. But I will say, unfortunately, now that I look at it, like Jameson Williams was 24th on the Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown also. So it tends to cluster together in good offenses. But that's the thing. The Packers should have a good offense. They should have a capability for one guy to emerge.
They don't have a Jameson Williams level receiver on their team. Our Jameson Williams is Christian Watson. And Jameson Williams is better than him.
So the wide receiver 2 for the Lions would be our bona fide number 1 wide receiver.
There's 2 teams in this division.
He had 1,000 yards. Both him and Amon-Ra had 1,000 yards.
There's 2 teams in this division that have bona fide 2s on their team that are bona fide 1s on the Packers. Jordan Addison in Minnesota is a number 1. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. Hell, he's a 1,200-yard receiver on the Green Bay Packers. You go ahead and bring Jameson Williams over here. He's an 1,100-yard wide receiver on our team. Like that's easy.
Strofe, you're taking a little offense to that.
First-round guys with talent.
I just want everybody to take a breath. Look, I get thank you. I get the offseason wasn't as sexy as we had hoped for, right? Like, I was the captain, the commandeer of, is that the word? Commandeer? Commandeer?
You got to ask Brad.
Commandeer means like to take over.
Yeah. The BBD campaign, the Bring Back Devontae campaign, right? I wanted Devontae Adams at green and gold. Ultimately, we know that didn't happen. They didn't even try to make that happen. Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks are only entering year 3. And we have seen enough flashes, specifically from Reed, that gives me pause to say, gives me pause for everybody saying, well, they don't have a 1,000 receiver. They don't have a number 1 receiver. Like, I still think there's plenty of gas in the tank for Jaden Reed.
You're a Jaden Reed guy.
I am a Jaden Reed
I love
guy.
me some Jaden, too.
He's awesome, right? Like, he does a lot of things really well that a Packers receiver has never been able to do, right? Like, they've never had Randall Cobb, maybe, a slot threat in the last decade and a half. What?
Is there so going into this season?
Kyle had his hand raised.
Did you think Jaden Reed was going to have 1,000 yards this season?
Probably not, but it was fair to maybe expect it once he started playing really well at the start of the season.
I probably said yes.
You thought that, right? And so, again...
And he had 850 with doing nothing in the second half of the season.
That's what's crazy. His first 8 games were pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, he played very well, but he fell off.
He fell off big time.
Is he going to have
game plan, though?
consistency?
It could be game plan.
Maybe.
Because Christian Watson was the guy that sort of took over at that point. You ran the ball with Josh Jacobs.
To your point, maybe there's less mouths to feed and more Jaden Reed to see. 800-990-3776. Someone gives you $100. Do the Packers have a 1,000-yard pass catcher next season? I need Brad to tell us how to keep that car sparkly and shiny, and then Alex Strofe, who's fed up with Kyle, gets to do Becoming Relevant coming next.
Oh, that's right, guys. Spring is right along the way. That means sun is shining, and you can roll the windows down and enjoy driving that car. And the only way you look great driving on the road is Tsunami Express Car Wash. They use state-of-the-art wash technology to give you a long-lasting shine and protection. Not only that, you get that exterior clean with those powerful state-of-the-art vacuums, but also that interior clean with free vacuums, matte washer, and detailing supplies for your car. Whenever I go to Tsunami Express Car Wash, because I'm a ceramic member, I can go an unlimited amount of time because I am a monthly member. I get to just go over and over and over. When I drive in, even myself, I feel dirty, but then I take the car inside, outside. My 9-year-old car looks like I drove it off the lot. That is how good it looks, and I feel better driving it. Not only that, there's convenient locations all across the greater Milwaukee area, with Oak Creek being the newest one, but you can find that nearest one to you, and you can enjoy all the things that Tsunami Express can give to you, which is a driving, feel-good experience when you take that car in and out of there, because the winter's behind us, spring is ahead. Usher it in with Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat with Tsunami Express.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Women ask you, do you love me? Why do you love me?
Wait, why am I always the one doing that? Tell me why you love me, baby. I need you to make me feel better.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Still dealing with some issues along 43 on the southbound side, right about at North Avenue. We've got the left shoulder blocked with a crash. That is going to be slowing down from Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Northbound is backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. We've also got an issue on the ramp from 894 northbound to 94 westbound. There's a broken down vehicle right on that ramp, so that's going to be affecting your ride. We've also got a crash northbound 4394 right about at Howard Avenue off on the left shoulder. Looks like there's a semi involved with that. 894 southbound, right as you're heading into the Hale interchange, got the right lane blocked with a crash, so that is going to be affecting your ride as well. Delays now coming in from before Oklahoma Avenue down to the Hale. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy with a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 53. Weather's brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. No matter the forecast, they have something to lift your spirits. Less than an hour from Green Bay, visit us in Ironwood and Menominee or online at findhigherlove.com/CBD. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me
Hey, y'all. I love Citizens Bank, and I want you to love them too. And what I love about Citizens Bank is the fact that when I went in there and I opened up my checking account, they helped me every step of the way. I said, you know what? I want to level up. And they said, Kyle, I'm going to do that with you because I want to start thinking bigger, right? I want to expand. They set me up with my CD account, but then on top of that, they talked about the different rates they have for homes, right? If you're looking to buy a home, you can get that with Citizens Bank right here in Wisconsin. And the thing is they are so great. And the thing that I loved about it, this is what I love. I love how local they are, and I love how they personalized it. After I opened up my account, opened up my CD accounts, you know what they did? They sent me a nice handwritten letter letting me know that they're going to be there for everything. They have a mobile app as well. So I'm telling you this right now. If you're looking to level up, you can do it with a local bank like Citizens Bank because they are local and they get where you are coming from, and they actually want to help people here in our community. So it's time to level up and do it right now with Citizens Bank. Visit citizensbankwi.bank. That's citizensbankwi.bank. I promise you, you will love your banking experience today with Citizens Bank.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. UKBN Nation, as always, 800-990-3776, the Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Alex Strofe, it's your time to shine. Take it away.
Thanks, Benny. All right, fellas, we got.
Is he in a mood?
We got to talk
got
about.
the hoodie
I
on.
actually kind of like his mood. It's
Hoodie
kind of sassy.
Strofe.
He kind of sassy.
Got a little sass to
Well,
him today.
Mello got into the Hall of Fame today, and Hoodie Mello is just an amazing tenure in his career, so I figured I'd pay homage throughout the day today. Kyle, shut up.
Yes, sir, Strofe.
That's how you talk to me.
Okay.
About time.
Okay, listen, Strofe. Listen, I'm not a fighter like that. Well, I will whoop you. Like, I will whoop you with my fist or my belt, and there's nothing you can do about it.
My fist or my belt like you're
Weapons.
a child?
Oh, I don't whip children. What are you talking about?
All right, well, let's just move on to this, which I don't know how great of a transition this is going to be, but I'm certainly going to try. Troy Vincent, who is in the NFLPA, NFL League office, said yesterday the league is up 133% on violent gestures and 52% on sexual taunting. I'm not exactly sure what that second part means, but dare I say, good? Dare I say, yeah? Give me some entertainment, baby. Right? Like, I mean, I know Rodgers got in trouble for doing a couple hip thrusts a couple of years back.
Paying homage to the Hingle McCringleberry from Key and Peele.
I don't understand why the NFL loves leading into the fact that stands for No Fun League. Like, if you do something cool, celebrate it, brother. Do what you got to do, man. I don't care. So don't let it happen if you don't want people to celebrate in fun ways.
All for it. Just curious on, like, was he giving the percentage uptick numbers because he wants less of it or because
he wants less of it, yes. They're going to crack down on it, and they're going to show players video examples of what they can't do anymore, which, by
they're
the way,
going to laugh, by the way.
So every single year, there are new emphases, new rules, all that kind of stuff. So every year in training camp, you get a handful of referees come, and all the team sits in there, and we watch this thing. And that is going to be an objectively hilarious meeting with all the teams of guys doing hip thrusts and showing their booties and sniffing their fingers and pointing for the first down and doing the bow and arrows and all that kind of stuff. That is going to be...
Bow and arrows. They're not hitting 3-pointers.
No, that's a violent gesture.
Do you remember with the You documentary for the Hurricanes on ESPN?
Didn't see it.
30 for 30. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. Am I the only one here who has seen that?
I've seen the U.
It is absolutely incredible.
Good, very
It's
good.
incredible.
Your personal friend G-Rag in that.
Yeah, my man
documentary.
G-Reg.
Oh, he is. The
Greg
7'4"
Olsen.
boys. Where were they?
Funny story about that one, too. So we were playing a game. I forget. It was a home game, and there was multiple versions of the U, right? There was like that 1980s U, then there was the new U, and Greg, they interviewed him and all this kind of stuff. And Greg's a great guy. Like, he's a family man, committed husband, father, like a leader in our locker room. I love Greg. But he made a rap when he was in Miami.
7th Floor Crew.
And this was like peak Me Too movement.
Oh, yeah. He was talking all types
and
of...
then literally the night before, he's like, I told him, do not put that rap in there. Do not put it in there. I do not need that. That was a different life. I made mistakes, all that kind of stuff. It comes out that night. The next morning, Greg Olsen at breakfast is hot. He is hot. He's like, dang it, they put it in there. He's texting the producer, all this kind of stuff. He went out and ripped a game. He had a great game. He played with his hair on fire. But it was wild to watch that unfold. And then, of course, I went back.
There was an innuendo reference, I believe, in his rap that we will not be playing.
Oh, yeah, lots of innuendos.
Yeah.
So Strofe wants more taunting and more gestures.
Yeah, like I remember way back in the day, I believe it was actually another one of your former teammates, Steve Smith. Didn't he do a celebration where he sat pretzel-legged and like pretended he was using a mop bucket with the football? And they banned that. And like that would have been before you were in the league, 2008, 2009 maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
Like you can't sit when you celebrate now. BS, man. Bologna sausage. Get after it.
They loosened up.
What's the most you've celebrated?
He's probably done like a little fist bump.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Good punt.
Yeah, like a little fist pump, little clap. Good job, boys.
You're not the most animated fella.
No, and
we need a little bit more McAfee out of you.
You can't force that upon
Yeah, you can't force that upon Bradley.
What about you, Penny? What was your biggest celebration?
I was a square.
Yeah.
I was a square when
Jumping
I played.
into other people's arms. That's about it.
Yeah. And that was only after a half-court shot.
Is that like Dirty Dancing kind of thing? You get picked up by.
Actually, I think I jumped into Frank Kaminsky's arms after hitting the shot against Michigan.
Oh wow. Somebody's arms. I don't know if it was Frank's.
I like the coordinated celebrations. When, like,
the dances.
Yeah. Those are fun. They're not getting rid of those, are they?
I hope not.
As long as they're not sexual or violent, I would assume not.
Just as long as they're not all Ja Morant's in the NFL, I'm okay with it.
What Ja Morant say?
He just likes weapons.
Using weapons.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and he did it last night too.
I saw. He got fined.
I said, bro, like, what is wrong with him? He is so impulsive.
It's like
can't
Josh
control
Gordon.
himself.
Like, I'm going to lay out what the issue is to you. It's not very hard to understand and comprehend, but apparently for them, they can't comprehend.
Don't use the finger guns.
He did the
proceeds to continue to do it all the time.
But he did it, and they're losing.
Can't help it.
He's flashing them on Instagram Lives. He's flashing them on the court. Like,
I'm telling you, he is
how
impulsive.
many times do we have to suspend you?
He probably did it. He's like, dang.
Impulsive isn't even like powerful of enough word.
It's almost like Pavlov.
Yeah,
he's trained to do it.
Exactly. He's
I
conditioned.
think we should start, and I don't want to cross the line here, but I think we should start involving significant others in celebrations. Do the dirty dancing. Kiss me on the face mask. I want all of it.
Wait, what does that mean?
I think you're going to tell us about Bank 5-9.
I'd love to tell you about Bank 5-9. They just keep on finding ways to make your life better. That is the mission statement after all. Bank 5-9, making lives better. They certainly do it in the community. They do it with their employees, their customers for sure. And they can make your life better right now with this limited time special with CD investment opportunities. For limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on their new CD specials. And with varying lengths of duration, you can find one that works for you. It's just another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better, and they just keep knocking it out of the park in every different way. And this is just another way that they're doing that. I mean, 4.8% CD special in this economy. How Bank 5-9 is able to pull that off and offer you to have top of the rate CD specials, I don't know. All I do know is that they're making lives better. Let them make your life a little bit better. Go check them out today. See if these work for you and they work into your financial picture, because you will not be dissatisfied with my friends at Bank 5-9. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Earlier this morning, 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin, Wilde and Tausch, they had some words for us because Mark Tauscher joined us on his normal Tuesday appearance, and he's fed up with Kyle Brust Nortman. Are we complainers? Probably, but we're doing it for a reason. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Wow. Just wow.
Has he sound good? We've been practicing.
I did it all last week. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of my progress.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It is a pretty hefty ride right now as you're making your way along eastbound 94. Right about at 25th Street, we have the left lane blocked with a crash. It's going to be solid all the way in from about 68th Street all the way to that point. Now, the westbound side is just going to be very heavy as the game is letting out. We do have delays from about 20th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43, a solid ride from Kilbourne all the way to Keith. The southbound side do have an accident on the left shoulder right about at North Avenue, so that's going to be slowing things down from that point all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. And we still have an accident left over on 894 southbound. The right lane blocked just as you're getting into the Hale interchange. Those backups stretch back to Oklahoma Avenue. And check the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 42. And then tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate charity concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate Charity Concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Your current car? Soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
With a 2,000 square foot video wall, you know where to go. It's Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their amazing sports book. It is one of a kind. Spent some time there with Alex Strofe on Monday before the Brewers home opening day. Went over to the ballpark, and then guess where we ended up? Back at Potawatomi Casino Hotel because the sports book and the food and everything they have there is amazing. You don't have to be a bettor or someone who likes to drink. You can just be a sports fan. and it's sports fans' paradise of watching anything and everything all day long. You can use your rewards cards at the betting kiosks. Bet above the rest and learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock, leading you into the Homer Hour. Now, earlier this morning, after we had Mark Tauscher on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman around 2:30 yesterday, look, we have differing opinions, and I think that's what makes this great and how you perceive the way the Packers are building the roster, if it's championship level, if you're good with it, if you're not good with it. And Old T and Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, we just disagree. Here's what Willie and Tausch had to say about yours truly of Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'll tell you this about Norty. I do my KBN hit on Tuesdays. Those three all think alike now. They all think alike. No, I'm telling you, I got on with them yesterday.
Jesse, I'll give you a wedgie.
All they want to do is complain. Oh, there's no urgency. This team, they stink. They're not going to get any better. Oh, da, da, da. And I'm looking at it like I'm saying, Brust, you were a freshman. Were you the same player as a freshman as you were as a senior? You can't. That's apples to oranges. I said, no, it's not. Like, it's so frustrating. Listen, they just want to rail on everything. Oh, this stinks. This stinks. You realize that we weren't that bad a team last year, and they're young, and they could actually get better. They wanted to hang up on me. I wanted to hang up on them, and thankfully we both did. That's where we were at yesterday.
They think he stinks. He's terrible.
Yeah, and all three of them have the same thoughts on it.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
It's so funny because, and this is the part that's yours. Well, I'm not going to. Okay, continue.
I just think that other.
That, Willie and Tausch, 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin.
They're putting words in our mouth, boys. Oh, they stink. Oh, this or that. We never, ever, ever pull the tape.
Look,
we've never said the Green Bay Packers
I don't feel
stink.
the need to defend myself when I hear that. All I know is I am under the skin of Old T, Jason Wilde, and Jesse is the biggest group think of them all.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a
so
question?
Easy.
How do you guys feel about Tausch about to say something and then pulling a punch there at the end?
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm just, you know what the problem is? The problem is how the mighty have fallen. Look at Tausch. He used to be an NFL starting tackle, a guy that played every year with a great quarterback and was competing for championships. Now look at him. He's a shell of himself. Now he's just sitting here saying, "Oh, I just want the guys to have fun. I just want them to compete." Goody's doing such. Just give him some time. Give him some time, Goody. Give him some time. They'll be okay. Look at him. He has fallen so far, and it is absolutely disappointing. Actually, I'm so sad for you, Mark Tauscher. I used to love you, but now I just can't stand the fact that you are just making excuses for the Packers not going all in. What happened to you, man? This ain't the Tausch I loved. This ain't the guy that went to Wisconsin and changed the culture. This isn't the guy that won a Super Bowl championship. This is a guy that's making excuses for a team not doing enough.
I'm honestly a little bit jealous because they're living with such contentment. They're living with contentment with their Green Bay Packers that, you know what we've been doing
They're
is
clearly
good.
having contentment having Jesse Nelson as the producer.
Yeah, I mean, for sure there. But, they're good. Hey, we're good with just making the playoffs. We're good with the 15-year Super Bowl appearance drought, We can just trust the process and keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and hopefully it changes, and just hopefully guys take a next step, even when their careers are advancing right before their very eyes.
Goody has broken them. The Packers have broken Wilde and Tausch to the point, like you said, Brett, they're now content with being just good. That is terrible. Just good.
It's just really too bad.
Who cares about winning a title? You made the playoffs. You won 11 games. Who cares? Hey, Christian Watson's gone. You didn't replace him at receiver. Or maybe you did. You did with McCole Hardman. He's a speedster. So you know what? That's fine.
I hate how he's a speedster.
Oh, man. You guys are just
Make him sound like he's the fastest guy in Mario Kart.
All that groupthink over there. Those guys, they're just groupthink. They want too much, man. They should just want guys to be happy.
I wonder where Homer is on this scale. I'm guessing he's more on the side of Wilde and Tausch, but we'll have to find out because Homer and Crosstalk is coming up next, presented by Higher Love.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You
agree with me?
I mean, Lola Bunny on your algorithm shaking her butt?
It's people on my Facebook sharing stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Lola the Bunny was kind of strapped.
Okay, here's as far as I'm... All I'll be able to say is I get why Bugs was so love drunk over Lola. I get it. That's as far as I can go to you.
Look at this. Look at this. Google Lola the Bunny.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
Quality isn't just a promise, it's a process. At Higher Love, they craft with integrity, delivering farm-to-table products you can trust. As the only clean green certified organic cultivator in the Upper Peninsula, Higher Love takes pride in growing pure premium products, meaning better quality at better value and a difference you can feel. You can find Higher Love just across the border in Menominee and Ironwood, or at any of their 9 locations throughout the UP. Get more information at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th Annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th Annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
we can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
Unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
At the Knickerbocker Hotel, we believe your stay should be as convenient and luxurious as possible. Whether you're planning a small meeting or a special event, our versatile space is perfect for any occasion. Start your day with a delicious meal at the Nick Restaurant and Bar, or unwind at the Nick Salon and Spa. Wanting to stay active? Their 24-hour fitness center is always available. If you need something custom made or alterations made, there's a tailor on site. The Knickerbocker, where every detail is designed with your comfort in mind. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, and springtime is here and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineups. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. You can combine your favorite baseball players with players from basketball and hockey and esports and much more. The second half of the basketball season is here, and the push to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Radio legend.
I don't care. I wanted to talk to Brent Musburger. That was for my own personal benefit. I hope other people enjoyed it, but I wish I was Brent Musburger. How about that?
Voice of Marquette basketball.
Joplin to the basket. He dumps it. Hammer time.
And owner of the most famous catchphrase, at least in this building.
Oh, baby, that's sweet.
It's time for Uncle Homer on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. Less than an hour from Green Bay and just over 2 from Milwaukee. Find your higher love at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
That's right, findhigherlove.com/CBD. Find them on socials at findhigherlove. less than an hour from Green Bay, less than 2.5 hours from Milwaukee, and you can elevate your draft day experience when you make Higher Love your top pick. Draft day is approaching, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experiences. Higher Love is the only UP cultivator offering organic, clean, green, certified products, which means you can count on Higher Love to only provide that good stuff, none of the bad. Check them out at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Joining us on Kyle Brust Nortman is Homer before the Homer Hour.
Yes, we have Rain Man, Jason Wilde, and Tim Van Born.
What a stacked lineup it is.
It is busy. So you guys mad again today? You're gonna be mad every day.
Mad?
Wait.
How do you confuse us for being mad?
You're just mad. What do the Packers have to do for you to be happy? What do they have to do? Tell me what will please you this year.
Be a
time
true
has
contender.
passed.
What?
Be a true Super Bowl contender.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
In the first round,
Go to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
What?
for
NFC
me,
Championship
I would
game.
agree. I'm
Final Four.
exactly in the same, and I think they can do it.
For the
Why?
offseason.
Because of the team they have. They were 6th best in points given up last year. They were 8th in scoring. They're right there. They're right there. Some of the players have to be a little bit better, but, and I'm starting the new campaign because I want it discussed. The only reason they didn't go further last year is their head coach. The offensive genius.
You lost the poll yesterday.
I don't care. I don't care what everybody else
Even
thinks.
Josh Jacobs at the Super Bowl there, I was like, hey, you guys like a guy
They got
away?
everything.
And he says, we're like 3.
They got everything. What, you got one of the top, arguably the second best running back in the league.
Okay, what about the defensive line? Who do you feel good
They
about
gave
there?
up 6, if you are 6th best in points given up, your defense did fine.
I'd love for you to take those numbers and you can like do them versus record. Go above 500.
Everybody's going to have better numbers against the weaker team,
but there could be a staggering difference when you're 1-5.
Homer, how many good teams did they beat last year?
Really good teams? None, I guess.
Okay,
Texans,
so the problem is the Texans weren't a really good team. They were just a good team, and so
your definition of they're not.
No, their offensive line was one of the worst in the league.
Tell me how many really good teams there were.
I would say the Vikings were really good last year. The Lions were really good last year. The Eagles were really good last year.
That's 3.
They were really good. When you look up and down their schedule, we got
so they're 3.
But they played them 6 times.
6 against those teams, Homer. So what
played them 6 times?
What did the Packers do in comparison to the Lions, the Eagles, and also the Vikings that make you believe that the Packers are going to be at that same level?
Again, the Detroit lost both their coordinators.
Okay, so you're just hoping
Vikings have lost. I'm not hoping.
You're hoping that because they lost both their coordinators.
It's not a hope.
No, it is hope.
No, it isn't.
The Eagles fired both of their coordinators and they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the year before, what did they do when they had 2 new coordinators?
They started 10-1.
No, well, what did they do? They sucked by your standards on the Packers. You would say the Eagles 2 years ago sucked, right? What they did?
You got putting this. No one's saying the Packers suck. No,
but I'm saying you pick and choose what you want.
They're good.
I say they should make the NFC. They need to make the NFC Championship game to have a good year. Yeah, and I think they have the team to do it.
I agree, but you think they had the team to do it. But there's some hurdles they have to get over, and one hurdle that they have to solve is they have to be able to beat good teams.
And they will.
It's great being top 6 in scoring and being top 10 in top 6 in scoring defense and top 10 in scoring. But if you can't do it and beat teams, they don't equate to wins against the best teams. That means nothing because winning a championship, you go through the best teams.
Again, we're saying we're not. It's not now we're up to winning a championship. But so you're 6th and 8th. They made one mistake. They lost to Philly.
No, they made multiple mistakes.
Well, no, you could have lost all the other games. It'd be fine. You wouldn't care.
No, if you win 3, actually go 3-3. Not 3-3 because I was in the playoffs.
But I'm saying if they'd have beat Philly, you wouldn't bring any of that stuff up.
But it's reflective of the team that they were, that they couldn't beat the great teams in the NFL, and they did it again in the playoffs. It's just reflective of what happened.
Because their offensive coordinator, who's supposed to be a play genius, was given a phenomenal running back, the second best running back in the league, and all of a sudden they can't pass to all their wide receivers. No one's open.
It is a strange situation.
Wait a minute.
It did seem like the passing game receded. There were drops and stuff.
They led the NFL in drops. They couldn't get separation. What are we talking about here? The same issue they had to start the season in 2023. It showed its ugly head at the end of last year so bad that the quarterback called out the receiver. So we can't just act like all these guys figured it all out.
Did you watch the games? Did you watch the games?
Every single one of them.
Did you think the problem was they were dropping passes? The problem was nobody was open.
The problem. Well,
Can't get
whose fault
separation.
is that?
What?
They're not getting separation.
That's on Good. That's on LaFleur. He's got this great running back, which you would think the balance. What do? You run because now they have to deal with the run. They shouldn't be able to defend the pass. If you run the ball well, that should help the passing game, right? It's been that
Devontae
way for
Adams got
100
plenty
years.
of separation in this
What?
offense. Devontae Adams got plenty of separation in this offense.
Those guys got separation the year before.
Who?
Those guys got separation.
Who?
All
They
of them.
did. In
and so-
2023,
it was
they were.
inconsistent towards the. They did get better towards the end, but it was still inconsistent.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They
You're
haven't-
being sassy right now. I'm trying to have a real conversation here
No,
for a second.
I'm being
In
real.
2023, the 8-game stretch that Jordan Love was amazing.
Phenomenal.
But
Phenomenal.
they were all wide
It was
open.
phenomenal. But again, until
So
the Packers,
to
they got-
Comer's point, I do want to bring that up. I think it is a fair point. How did the separation change that much? Is it players or is it coaching?
When your running game was even better.
You're saying it's coaching primarily.
I think that LaFleur. No, I want the discussion to be if the Packers fall short. I think there should be equal discussion that LaFleur's the problem and not Goody.
Homer
no
doesn't
one
give
brings up
LaFleur
LaFleur.
any. You give LaFleur zero credit for taking a team.
You give Goody no credit for the talent he put together.
I give Goody credit. Everybody here will tell you that
Not much.
like Goody. I feel like he needs to do more. He should have replicated.
I like LaFleur. I feel like he needs to do.
No, you want LaFleur gone.
No, I
you
don't
like
Have
LaFleur
I ever
because
said he should be
you
fired?
didn't give LaFleur credit for the
I
fact
don't
that he
give
took
him credit when everybody
Why are you
told
so
us
sassy
he was
today,
this
Kyle?
I'm not
amazing
sassy.
play caller. The discussion was LaFleur was great. First of all, as an offensive coordinator at Tennessee, they sucked the year he was there. You know who made him? You know who made LaFleur?
You think Aaron Rodgers made him?
Without a
But
doubt.
somehow this team, after Aaron Rodgers left, has made the playoffs back-to-back years, and on top of that, they have actually increased their wins from 9 wins to 11
Is this
wins.
the Packer team
And
he's been telling us about?
No, so
His
what?
thoughts on the Packer team going into this year?
I didn't
Remember
say,
this.
Homer, I didn't say the Packers were bad. What I'm saying, they're not ready to compete for championships, which is what Goody says that he thought they were ready to. A team that's ready to compete for championships.
Because his head coach ain't done the job with the
it's
players
because,
he's given him.
It's because the D-line can't consistently get a pass rush. We're concerned about what's going to happen at the corner position because you and I both know Keyshawn Nixon is not a number one corner, and then the receiving room doesn't have a 1,000-yard receiver since 2022 when Devontae Adams left. You can't put that all on Matt LaFleur. Some of that is the lack of talent.
We saw the offense a year ago for 8 games and Jordan Love be the elite quarterback in the league. How'd that happen?
Jordan Love, they played well. They came together. They had issues last year. Jordan Love wasn't healthy. I think this football team is a good football team, but going into next year, you are less optimistic for 2025 than what you were for 2024.
Who's more likely to be inconsistent, Matt LaFleur or a young offense?
I don't know.
Good question, Brad.
I would say young
Good question,
wide receivers.
Brad.
Like I can see why they peak, and I can see why they regress, why they catch the ball, then they make drops.
As someone who played in the NFL,
I would see
They
why
were better their first year. You don't expect them to get worse their second year.
But they did. They're inconsistent.
I don't think
'cause they're
they
young.
did. I put it all on the floor. Everybody gives him a pass. Why? Why is it that he was horrible play calling? Would you assume any team you're with when your running back is? I mean, he had a great running back. You would assume, hey, the passing game's going to be better. The passing game got worse.
I agree. The game plans looked a little disjointed. It didn't seem like they translated the successful running game to a successful play action pass. I will give you that.
For a
I will give
guy
you that.
who's viewed as a play calling guru, right? Have we not? Did we not talk about that?
That's what his MO is and how people would look at him. Look, I'm with you on the staleness of the play calling. And I hate to be the too could be true guy. No pun intended with Steve the Homer True with us. Goody may not be giving as much talent to Matt LaFleur as he needs, and Matt LaFleur may not be optimizing the talent as much as Matt LaFleur can.
That. I just want
because that's how you get into the cycle of being good and not great.
To include LaFleur, and it doesn't seem to. All the discussion is about Goody, and he's had bad first-round picks, or he didn't do this.
But that's true.
Well, it can't
well, the reason why it probably goes to Goody and not LaFleur, Homer.
Homer, stop it. If his first round picks hit, we're having a whole different conversation.
I don't.
Yes, you
no,
do.
I don't care about first round picks.
Yes, you should, though.
No,
you saw 2 first round picks wreak havoc on the NFL, on the interior for the Eagles.
I saw them. I saw the Packers do well with Ron Wolf in the Super Bowl, and I don't know his first round picks were horrible. All I care is the team that they put together. I don't care if it's a first-round pick or a seventh-round pick. I don't care if it's a free agent. I care about the group of players he's put together. And he's put together a good group of players.
I want great. You saying good? What do you mean whatever? Good doesn't win Super Bowls, Homer.
I said
good
I think
doesn't get to an AFC championship.
I think they're closer than good. I think they can win a Super Bowl? Not unless somebody elevates to better than they've been.
And who's going to do that?
Jordan
could
Love.
Be anybody. Could be
Jordan
Cooper,
Love
could
would
be
have
Williams,
to be the guy.
Could be Jordan Love.
Love's the
could be a
only guy
wide
that would do
receiver.
It's
Could be a lot of them.
But you know what he didn't say? He didn't say Rashawn Gary. He didn't say Kenny Clark. He
It
didn't
doesn't
say
matter.
Lucas
They're
Van
not
Ness. No, but that's the
So
problem.
what?
You're talking about young guys to
So?
elevate when we need these guys who are getting paid and effective
I
to
don't
elevate
care who
first-round
it is.
picks.
Why do I care who it is?
Kevin chimes in. LaFleur is soft. No one on offense or defense scares anyone.
That's my biggest concern.
No number one receiver. No edge rusher. 8 wins at best.
He's not technically soft. He believes smart is important.
LaFleur's going to find you up in Lambeau when we're up there during the draft.
I know all I need to know about LaFleur when he wore that jersey.
He ain't
That's all
afraid of
I need
elder
to know.
abuse. He ain't above that.
Hey, you think of a tough coach. Dude shows up with a jersey. You can leave now. I'm not signing the damn jersey. Go.
Ben, it's your fault why he thinks this.
He is smart.
Oh, it's my
He is
fault.
smart.
Why does everything become my fault?
That's
I
your
stayed
fault.
out of this.
No, it had nothing to do with you. It's how he responded to you.
But it had
I
nothing
don't
to
want
do
to
with you.
say
Ben
he's
said-
soft
Ben said